All right, we are live.
Are we?
And everybody, welcome to our show. I guess we are live. Thank you, Brian, for working all the fun stuff in the background, giving us sound. Welcome all you individuals watching the stream and masochists willing to listen to my voice as we go along. We are starting, I guess, episode 1, really, of our After the End campaign, re.Birth. I am CommJunkee, our host and GM for this game, with my ragged band of friends and followers, players. We hope you enjoy this next episode where we left off. Our intrepid party was stuck in the depths of a old military-style bunker, having just been attacked and defeating a large pack of rat dogs. One PC sacrificing himself for the sake of his friends in a large explosion, leaving bloody bits of rat dog and himself all over. Everyone is now kind of picking themselves up and through the smoke and haze.
Who are these friends?
I can't do anything about that guy.
He is dead. Axton is quite kaput.
Why is the tall guy super quiet all of a sudden? It's creepy.
He seems verklempt. He just watched somebody blow himself up right next to him, taking very minor damage through his thick hide.
Right. Where the hell were we again?
You were...
Give me a map. Where's my map?
Double click your token. It'll open the map.
Will it?
Yes.
Yes, it will.
If you double click your token, it'll open the map that your token is currently on.
I don't care about that. It's up to the GM to share the map.
It is technically shared.
What
It's just
token
not
is
as much fun if I can't give Mark crap. The one
Yeah,
on
I'm
your
not
character sheet.
Okay. It just took a really long time to... Or did you just share it again?
I just shared it.
Damn it. I was trying something.
Well,
Close it and do it again.
Yeah, it's not working.
it worked
Working for me.
Clicking the
for
token on
somebody.
your character sheet.
I clicked about all the tokens.
Worked on yours. It opened for yours.
Okay. No, it's there now. It's just had to figure out which token you were talking about.
The one on the character sheet.
Well, I know that now.
Man. Right. So, well, we just lost a hungry mouth, so I guess that's a positive thing.
Are we sad?
I don't know. Are you
I
sad?
don't know. I didn't really know the guy.
Did we like that guy?
My doctor has callus, so he doesn't give a damn. He's going to promptly go over there and start rooting through the mess to see what can be salvaged.
Actually, what did he have?
It doesn't matter. It got blown up.
So that's gross.
The GM needs to go to that character sheet and drag everything off his inventory into the party sheet.
No, he has to make the health checks against the grenades first.
Let's see. The grenade did 33 points of damage localized, and everything's considered homogeneous, right?
I don't know.
Which isn't going to have any effect on crushing.
So that's a lot of dang damage right there.
Well, it depends on how many hit points things has. What did he have that was worth
let's see.
mentioning?
Wow.
Let's see. A leather
But
jacket.
then we're playing
I said worth
scavenger
mentioning.
games, so
Well, okay, worth mentioning. He had a cheap cheap SMG.
Yeah,
that's
that's
probably
dead.
worth. Oh, it's metal. Let's see.
Yeah, but it's cheap. It's
Oh,
going to
And
have
it
lower
took
hit
33
points.
damage.
Yeah, I don't think they have that many hit points.
Well, I'm also thinking if it's cheap, it's probably the kind of stuff that was
a
you know,
folding
made
shovel.
in a quick machine shop sort of thing.
So he had a folding shovel. That probably made it.
Might be a little bit bent.
Already have a folding shovel.
Leather
I was
gloves.
going to hit a guy with a folding shovel.
Leather gloves, lockpicks. Lockpicks probably survived. I'll call it.
No, wait, I have a regular shovel. My primary guy has a folding shovel. So we may have found the folding shovel that my primary guy has.
So the stuff that survived, you should drop in the party sheet.
I'm calling shenanigans. I haven't seen you roll the health checks for any of these things.
You just haven't seen me roll.
And
Basically
we can
just
only
doing
get
it.
away with that sort of thing in a scavenger game. Because if you try to pull this crap in my Monster Hunter game, everything's gone.
Well, that kind of depends.
Well, that's funny. I have him with 2 folding shovels.
He liked his shovels. He was a shoveler.
His favorite
Let's see.
movie was The Mystery Men.
Yep.
I think he was trying to get that to work properly on the sheet.
Probably.
Spear is broken. Let's see. Matches probably made it.
Nah, they're gone. They caught fire.
Let's see,
Weird.
the canteen probably is crushed.
No, it's fine.
Well, let me find out, I guess. Oh yeah, no, that's it. Nope, it's gone. It's got holes all through it. It became part of the shrapnel apparently, as bad as it rolled. Let's see. Let's see if any of the ammo kept.
Yeah, are you gonna have to roll that for
No.
every round?
No, I'm
Because
gonna
that'd
roll.
be hysterical.
Let's see, based on a margin of success of 3, so I'll say 30% of it survived. So there are, let's go with,
$9 millimeters. What kind of weirdo uses something like that?
Eh?
let's see, rations. Is that?
If no one has any objections, I'll take the lockpicks.
Why are you gonna steal some stuff?
Yeah. I'll start with the lockpicks if I have to.
All right, that's about as everything that survived.
Wait, does it actually after the end actually differentiate pistol rounds like that, or are you just doing that for safety?
Just for now. I mean, for now, I'm just going with it until we, so just assume it's pistol rounds until we really figure out and hash out what we're going to be doing with weapons. Most of everything I created was high tech content, and so I'm going to have to
User
do
joined
some
your channel.
modifications with some of the NPCs.
Nice of you to drop by.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's not too bad. I was late myself.
All right, let's hear the excuse. What is it?
I was washing the walls.
That's unusual.
Yeah, I'm moving, so I got a little ahead of myself and then lost track of the time.
No worries. I was out playing board games with friends, and it took way too long to complete what we thought we were. This
I
should have
thought
taken
you
a
were
lot less.
just on mark time.
You
Using
should have
Air
table
Force
flipped
clock.
then. If it came to time, you should have just table flipped.
I've never table flipped.
Well, the thing is we were done, and it was like doing the last, trying to calculate, the final points and all that, and then they shuffle the kids out the door and chase the dog around. And get
I've
him
only
into the
actually
car.
seen one table flip in real life, and it was quite amusing. It was someone was playing a game of Magic the Gathering at a local game store, and they just lost it and table flipped. Literally table flipped. Shit went everywhere. It was amusing.
Right. Well, we need to look around here and see what else we can loot from this place that isn't nailed down.
All right, so scavenging rolls is what I will need from everyone.
Need scrounging.
Scrounging rolls.
No, he needs scavenging. Didn't you hear? As I look over my character and realize I have not
All right.
added scavenge or scrounge to
There's a-
Zed Zeke.
You can roll against that table there, Nathan. Oh, actually, that's not a margin crit, was it? Hold on. I got the right one here.
Well,
I don't
he
know.
rolled
I
a
kind of
5.
want that one.
He rolled a 5.
I like the other one better.
So the first one was junk worth 2d50. So do a 2 dice 50 roll and add that to your currency. So various miscellaneous bits and parts is what you find. And I'll need a scrounging roll from
So are
everyone.
you going
I'm
to
looking
add
at
that
it.
to the
Party. You can add it to
currency?
the party.
So
Yeah, I
this
need
was
to
just
make it an
junk,
actual
right?
currency.
Junk just kind of fills not necessarily any useful stuff. Wow.
I don't think
minus
Zed
4?
found anything. Yeah,
don't
because
have
I don't
scrounging?
I don't have scrounging. I created a doctory type.
Gotcha. Let's see.
So 350 in junk. Yeah.
Way to go, Salvador.
All right, you too can roll against the major results.
As apparently Joel and Zed/Zeke are poking around in the pile of corpses.
I think I'm still picking out bits of dog from my teeth.
Miscellaneous gear. I think I rolled something among those.
It's
And
worth 2D times 100. Wow. We're gonna have to punk you and take it, Daniel. Principally because of your blue hair. We don't trust people with blue hair.
Mutant rights.
You're not actually a mutant, are you?
Maybe.
You're like, well, I got blue. Well, that would stand to reason that I'm like looking at you funny because, if you've got blue hair, you might be a mutant, and I'm repulsed by mutants.
miscellaneous gear. Okay. All right. if you let's see, what would be miscellaneous gear to be found inside of a storage area? Probably let's go with tools. Yeah.
Worth 900.
Yep. Tools. Random. Let's see.
Whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah, it's because you got blue hair.
You can, if you do desire, you can get about a one person, like 3 rations of meat off of each rat dog that you choose to scavenge, and about 5 rations worth of meat, or if you choose to butcher the animals.
Partly pre-cooked.
How much meat can we get from Ethan's dead character?
I don't know. Probably eat on them for a few days.
Well, if nothing else, we can just toss him in the engines, and there you go.
There's actually quite a bit of other stuff in here that you figure if you could get it out, it might be worth. There's, you notice some of these tanks actually look like they're, could potentially have some kind of fluids in them.
And there's a door down here. I want to find the thing that's powering the place and take it. We can totally carry a nuclear reactor on in the caravan, right?
Well,
let's see. I'm sure the fissile material probably is carryable, but you might all die.
On the bright side, I do have hazardous materials radioactive.
Yeah, but I don't think you have
At
the right
11.
materials. You might be able to tell yourselves and know if we take this out of containment, we all die.
Padre's hot micing again.
Am I? Nuts.
Yeah.
Let me see what I'm doing.
You've got your TeamSpeak set to transmit when it hears stuff, don't you? You don't have it set to push to talk.
voice activated.
Now I do.
Cool.
Push to talk's your friend, especially if you've got an Xbox controller.
Okay.
Really like
Well,
Xbox controller.
what now?
So, you do note that inside as you guys are scavenging most of the, there's just all kinds of old cloth and material, turned into a major nest inside the where most of the rats had come from. In fact, there's probably a small nest of baby rat dogs just kind of now.
Yep, gotta go Goblin Slayer on them and smash them.
But there's various rotted food material, nesting material, old bones.
You said tubes with liquids in them. I don't see anything like that on this map.
If you look at the top right hand.
Oh, okay. I bet it would be a bad idea if we shot one of those.
Probably. It does say danger, flammable, no smoking. Most of the machinery in here is very obviously, old and seized up, and hasn't been any maintenance done or anything like that.
And bolted to the floor.
and bolted to the floor. I mean, with some time, you could probably scavenge more stuff out of here. With if you took a lot of time, you could get metal plate and various other things.
Yeah, we got to find out with there's other stuff that's more important. Like what's on the other side of this door.
Right. That door, it does have like a small directory. It says power plant, like engineering and maintenance or mechanics.
And this might have the nuclear power plant we can carry out and put on one of our wagons. That'd be great.
Ugh.
So how do we get through this door?
Well,
We need to cut through it.
It does not seem like this one is has that same kind of hum to it as the other ones. Like the power, you could see probably some wiring in and around the area that the rats have chewed on in various spots. So cutting power, this door doesn't seem to be as secured as the one upstairs.
Right. Well,
Maybe a little elbow grease. I think you still have another crowbar amongst you. Possibly.
We got 2 pieces of a crowbar.
Well, you have at least one crowbar and 2 pieces.
Yes, another crowbar to break.
Well, I'll let the muties deal with that.
Yeah, I don't know who has a crowbar.
Max didn't have a crowbar. I mean, you could probably just, get your, jury rig a crowbar and just use like a piece of metal or whatever. Use.
And there's no opportunity to run a bypass?
You could try, see if you can find some wire.
No, he said there was no power.
Well, there's no power going to it, but some of the wiring is still there. You can see if any of it's live.
I think you have to have power in order to run a bypass.
Well, the panel itself isn't showing any power, but you can see wiring that leads to the panel has been chewed through. So it's possible that some of the wires are alive. Who wants to lick it?
Let
Salvador
Joel
does.
do that.
No, Salvador wants to do that.
No,
That's why he's
doesn't.
got blue hair.
Salvador is gonna go scrounge something useful for a crowbar.
You find a piece of metal that you can take apart with the tools you just found that can easily wedge in there.
I was going to say, if he found a bunch of tools, maybe he found a replacement crowbar in those tools.
Well, take
yes.
take the cost of a crowbar off the $900, and you have found a crowbar.
While he's searching, Nathan's going to take some of these chewed wires and join them together and see if he can get if there's any power going through this thing.
You do realize you're gonna there's gonna be another door that's gonna come down.
All right, go for it. Give me an electronics repair.
Let's go, Han. 18.
Woohoo!
Well, you get you hear what sounds like the motor releases. You're able to hear the panel kind of lights up, and it has like access, an access panel that you open, close, that kind of thing.
So once he twists these wires together and the panel lights up, hit the open button.
Okay, the door starts to grind its way up, and then about halfway it stops. It's like you can hear that you can hear like what sounds like some of the gearing is grinding against itself. lack of lubrication or whatever. But the door itself kind of gets to about, thigh high before, it kind of, you can hear it's trying, but it's just not going up any higher. You hear like a whine and.
Let's put a heavy solid thing under it.
I'll go check it out and see what's on the other side. I don't need a heavy solid thing first.
Let's not crawl under it until we have secured it.
It'll be fine.
So Nathan will go find something solid that he can put underneath it.
Okay.
And I'm going to wiggle underneath it to the other side. Not waiting.
All right. Do you have one of the light sources? Because one of the lanterns.
Yeah, I had one of the lanterns last time. Remember?
Gotcha. So it kind of opens up into what looks kind of a corridor, and you see a few passages off, but you can clearly see what seems to be the power plant section.
Yep. Give you.
Let's see. Do you have any kind of electronics, power, engineering, etc.?
Nope.
Okay.
I have chemistry.
Okay.
Veterinary. I have poisons.
All right. Well, you see what looks like a bunch of various equipment or power equipment. You can see what looks like a panel, and you see actual lights lit up. They're not, some of them are all, some are out. You see what seems to be like a backup generator, whereas it seems like the only thing that seems to be powered on. But there's a lot of other equipment in here. You hear what sounds like could be the water, maybe, and the hum of some kind of generator. And you have the dim glow of the red emergency lights in that corridor. You're able to find. There's enough boxes and crates. You're able to find something that you can wedge up under that door amongst the remainder of you guys.
After that, then Nathan will go in.
All right. Nathan does have electronics repair. Give me a roll against engineering, electronics, whatever. Just any one of them will work. And anyone else that goes in there that has kind of you can tell that whatever is powering this is not, it's not getting full power, and it looks to be some kind of based on you see hydro lines and whatnot. It looks like it's probably tapping the nearby river. They may have diverted some flow from the river to kind of create some kind of hydropower, and that is not seeming like it's enough to continue powering the whole facility. But you see what looks like some of the power. You're kind of reading the panel, and you note that it is on backup power, but the backup power is being supplied by rechargeable power cells, and those power cells are only being kept charged by a residual amount of hydropower. You figure you
take them.
So I'll need a. You figure if you might be able to remove the power cells themselves, they'll maintain whatever full charge. But I'll need a successful. Is electronics repair your only skill? Electronics wise.
I have electronics repair, computers, and security.
All right. Anyone else have any electronics or engineering?
Security looks like mechanic, gasoline engine. That's it.
Okay.
I fix
Well-
people, not machines.
Give me a
Is it true?
electronics repair
Oh yeah, no, we can't kill these guys yet.
roll. And based on, we'll go with a.
Now we can't.
Let's see, I'm trying to think. Is there any defaults to just electronics power or engineering?
Yeah, other electronics -3, I believe.
Okay. Give me a roll at a -3.
All right, so I'm going to spend extra time.
Okay. And there are 3 power cells.
So each attempt takes.
Well, what I'm going to do is based on your success or level of success or failure is how many cells you can successfully,
There you
pull
go.
out without
Grab the
damaging them,
now.
if that makes sense, if that's easier.
All right, so as long as we're not on a time schedule, I'll take a full half an hour to pull these things
Are
out.
you having him do engineer?
Engineer, well, it defaults, I guess, to, any electronics minus,
So
all right,
if I spend the full half hour,
right?
so 30 times as long, then that'll be a succeed by 0.
Okay, so you're able to successfully, the first one you start working on, and you end up, something happens, and you short it out, and the power cell kind of goes out. But you learn from your mistakes, and you're able to successfully disconnect 2 of the other cells without
Go.
damaging them. So you are able to gain 2 large power cells. They are. I'm going to. Oh my goodness, where did I put that?
They have big neon glowy bits on them too, don't they?
If they don't, they're not real power cells.
But as you pull them out, you can, the system kind of does the, you hear a kind of a klaxon. After you disconnected the first one, there's like a klaxon alarm kind of sound. That's just like, warning, power, power loss, remaining power at, critical levels. And then you disconnect the next one, and some of the light banks go out, and then when you finally take the last one, all the lights finally go out, and there's kind of like there's a slow dimming of the lights until they go out, but that kind of background hum of power goes away. But you now have 2 TL. I'm going to go 9 power cells. I think I have them, which you figure you could probably use for quite a while by themselves to either recharge other power cells, or they'll last for quite a while. They're definitely something. Yeah. Yep. I'm trying to figure out where they are. Ultra Tech. I'll just put 2 power cells. Ultra Tech had a weight on them.
Well, it depends on the power cell. I presume we're not talking D cells.
No, these are like super efficient. They're probably about this, size of a large of a backpack each.
Should probably check them to make sure they're not like radioactive.
They're not. You figured what was the remaining, what was powering this base was strictly on backup, and the amount of inner power that was coming from the remaining hydro was enough to just keep the batteries charged, and enough to push enough power to keep some of the diverted power to that's it exactly, those e-cells.
The next bigger size is the last size that they have in the book, and that is the size of a compact car engine.
You know what's cool is on page 19 of Ultratech, they have exploding power cells.
Indeed.
If destroyed, treat them as an explosive of the same weight as the cell, but with a REF. I don't know what REF is. That depends on tech level. 1/8 at TL9, 1/2 at TL10. What's an REF?
Relative explosive force or something like that. It's there.
TNT is 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's on 88 of Ultratech.
There are 2 of them, but you know that these are super awesome. You're probably going to easily find, you find the right buyer, or if your caravan can easily find some use for them, hook them up to a potential some way of keeping them charged, and they'll just go forever.
How do you charge them?
I mean, the most basic way, you get a bicycle, what is it called? Oh my goodness, copper spool dynamo, and you can charge them back up that
You
way.
get Joel to pedal really, really hard.
You get about 10 or 12 slaves to work in shifts.
You figure
Right.
as a base of operation, you could probably just reinstall these and charge them up even from here if you really wanted to.
Put a rat dog in a cage with a treadmill.
Hook it up to a solar panel somewhere.
You need at least a little bit of a charge left so you can zap it in the ass and make it run.
Well, while he's taking this out, I'm going to continue looking around with my lantern.
We should look around to see what the unintended consequences are.
There will be none. It'll all be fine. Then a robot stomps on me.
Everyone, give me a new scrounging roll for those who are, for everyone that's searching in and around the area while you got 30 minutes while Nathan pulls these out.
Okay, so not including Nathan.
Not including Nathan.
Yep, I suck at this job.
Joel's not that great at it either.
No, Joel's more concerned with picking the bits of dog out of his teeth.
Are you still doing that?
It's a lot of dog I bit.
Just save it for later.
There's Salvador finds some more stuff.
Freaking muties, man. Uh-oh. You're going to find a sharpened shovel.
And now for the lame roll. No, that's 1,000 at least. Which isn't good for a modern weapon, at least.
Let's see, what is that?
Can't even get a decent pistol. I think you get a Luger.
See, give me a universe reaction roll.
I don't recall paying $1,000 for my pistol.
What did you get?
No, I mean my in real life.
Oh, well, that's another matter. Yeah, I think I needed 2K for the pistol that Sam's using.
I think the ceramic inserts on a Kevlar vest would probably be around about 500.
You find a, let's see, let's go with you find a melee weapon or something that can easily be used as a melee weapon.
I'm telling you, it's a sharpened shovel.
Everything can be used as a melee weapon.
Not everything.
Well, whatever this one is, it's in better quality than most.
Well, what's a melee weapon for 1,000? That's going to be a sword.
Swords are freaking. Wow.
I don't know.
Okay.
Trying to figure out why a sword would be down in engineering.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I know what it is.
It's
It
a
is
chainsaw.
a chainsaw. Yeah, let's go with the chainsaw. You find a chainsaw, and you know.
Well, if
For
it's
some
engineering,
reason,
it's probably
it's on
not
a
a
stick.
chainsaw. It's a like a grinder, angle grinder
Or,
with a
yeah.
cutting disc or something.
Yeah, how about that?
Okay. That's kind of a tool, though. It's not really
They
a
put it
melee
on a
weapon.
stick. They put it on a stick, so it's clearly a weapon now.
Except the grease monkey that was working here, he's already taken the grinding disc off, and he's put a cutting disc on, a saw blade, and he's attached it to a pole.
Okay, those are really heavy. I don't think.
And
think
you're
you
like,
can do that.
what the hell is this? Was this person doing with this?
Let's see. Trying to think of what would be a.
Because that way you won't get
Hmm.
constantly.
Or let's see. What is a good? Maybe it's a. You know what? It could be in a pickaxe.
Since it's weapon or armor, you could just say there's some steel plate. Engineering, there'd be lots of
Yeah,
steel plate.
I'm kind of leaning toward the armor plates. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, that'll work. You find a pair, a
I don't
couple
remember how much those are, though.
of armor. Because this is also has a machining, a small machine shop. It looks like somebody was was working on customizing some ballistic plates. Yeah, how about that?
Trauma plate. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, those are
Totally
600.
unacceptable.
Those are 600
there
on
you
their
go.
own. That's at tech level 8. So 16 times that. That does say plural, so yeah, it's still too much.
Let's see. Bulletproof shield is TL6 times 4. Oh, it was a ballistic shield there.
TL6 times 4.
So 300 times 4. I'll round it up.
Okay.
So you found what looks like there was a ballistic shield that was repaired, that was set aside. So bulletproof shield. Trying to see. I don't know if that's in the equipment items.
course it isn't.
I think I can add it here. DR 1080.
Yeah.
The DR is 10/8.
Where are you looking at it?
Just in GCA right now. High tech, page 76. If you want to look at the stats for it.
That is incorrect.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes they are wrong.
Oh, they could easily be. Let's see.
Not that big a deal, though. Shields. Bulletproof shield. Tech level 6.
Oh, DB2.
72.
Yep, DB2. Yep.
All right. Well, yeah. The downside of finding all this stuff is it's not weighed in grams.
So it should be statted up right in the parcel.
Yeah, that puts me in medium. Holy God, that's 30 pounds. Jesus.
Heavy steel shield.
Do you see the thing I have?
Ooh,
Where's
may
the-
have a firing port.
Okay.
Does occur to me that I think I actually would have succeeded if we have the extra time because of
Yes.
Nathan doing the thing, but I don't know by how much.
What's the?
Because I failed by 2.
So I think it's 5 minutes is a normal scavenging duration. So 30 minutes is quite a bit more. So you failed by 2. That's probably a success. So here,
Yeah.
I got this table for you.
I'm going to roll like garbage.
There you go.
Or, maybe I'll find something really cool. Probably not.
Yeah, one's
Did that
always
go?
good.
Oh, okay. I guess it did. Not like that.
Well,
60
That's three
$60 worth.
yeah, that's $60 more than you had.
So
What kind of ammo?
yep, give me a you know what? Hold on. Give me a fate
Now
dice.
that
Yeah. So give me a
that you
fate
could
die.
actually put on the table.
Oh, things.
All right.
Oh,
So
fate
good.
die. Sorry.
Yeah, only because if it's a minus, it's pistol. If it's a blank, it's rifle. If it's a plus, it's heavy. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, joy. Okay. Well,
Because
whoops.
all right, so it's pistol
Okay.
rounds. So you have 30. So what is that? Divide by. You have 6 pistol rounds. 6 pistol cartridges. Just add it to the current number of cartridges there.
Why would you presume I'm going to put it in the party loot?
Or take it. I guess that's true.
Just want to answer Joel quickly. With the change to the encumbrance, items in your combat tab, if they just have a square, then they're not linked to anything in your inventory. If they have the pyramid symbol, then they are linked to an item that's in your inventory.
Understood.
Right, you were slacking off washing walls when we referenced that.
I surely was.
The benefit being, you can change notes and stuff like that in the linked item, and all that will reflect. Plus, if you equip and unequip the item, it'll add it or remove it from the combat tab.
Righto.
Did we not have an issue with weapons that are both ranged and melee?
No, there's a weapon in the type. You have melee and ranged as one of the selections.
Was that always there?
It
Did
may
we add
not
that
have
later?
been,
It seems
but
like
it's been
we ran
like that
into
for a
at
long
one
time.
point.
It's not something that's changed recently.
Right, well, so Nathan is pulling power supplies and everybody else is
Everyone finds a bunch
I'm
of stuff.
putting
digging about.
bullets in my pocket.
So, Nathan, you pull the last power cell out, and you feel really proud of yourself for not destroying all, 3 of them,
And life on this planet.
and life on this planet, or blowing yourself up, or electrocuting yourself.
But now you've released the Kraken.
There is a sense of this place being much more, dead than it was now, or less energized. The energy of this place has definitely lessened.
So, this being an engineering place, is there likely a trolley around somewhere?
Sure.
So, as
yeah,
we're finding shit, we're just loading it up on the trolley.
there's like a small handcart, I'm guessing.
Well, Daniel did find some tools.
The trolley
maybe-
being code
yeah,
for
maybe-
the party sheet.
Yeah, you find us like one of those little 2-wheeled hand carts that you're able to stack the power cells on and drag with you.
Up the elevator shaft.
No, we'll just totally have Joel carry it.
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
You're presuming one of those power cells isn't going to get knocked off the trolley and explode and kill us all.
So you're pretty certain that anything that you can immediately take that's loose and scavengeable is with you guys right now.
So now we got to figure out how to get our stuff out.
Well, you know that there was, path upwards and out the way you came. You could fit everything and drag it behind you. Joel will have to squeeze through that passage again, but the gears takes up less space than he does.
We can also maybe follow the rats here. Maybe they had a way in on the primary thing from where they came, their little den.
You're able to, so you spend some time looking for something like that, and you
Seems
find
reasonable.
you do find where they've kind of chewed through another like a vent or like a port that leads into some additional like back panels and maintenance shafts inside, but you can see where most of it's all dark and smells most of rat. But you have no idea where where a lot of this stuff goes. At least from there. You do figure that with the power out, whatever was keeping that door energized above in the medical area is probably no longer
right.
functional as well.
I wish I had thought of that. I would have ventured up there straight away instead of wasting time with the
well, you remember it now.
scrounge. Hey, I'm going to go to the medical area and raid it for any medical stuff. Said in a hideously thick Russian accent because I can't do it.
This is medical stuff, and I wish to raid it.
Boze moi.
Bolshemoy.
Okay.
So
stuff.
you guys kind of squeeze your way taking your way back through the passages and stuff.
With much difficulty.
Because we don't know any other way.
For this.
Yeah, what
I know,
kind of
right?
slacker GM is this?
Well, I didn't want to. I mean, there wasn't really any need for like a corridors map and all that, because how that all plays out. No,
Yes, you did. You can admit it.
Part of it is, in fact, slackerism, and I started to kind of build a map, and then I'm like, unless they're really needing to fight in these corridors right now, it was just trying to figure out how to, doing the tiling for making maps was just taking way too long.
Well,
every time I create something, it was so hard to, or I was finding it difficult to map it out, as it were, with, to reflect broken tunnels and anything that made any kind of sense.
Well, what are we going to do when Joe goes feral? Because they always go feral.
Well, then you fight in a corridor. I can pull up a quick corridor.
That's the real reason I'm super eager to get clear there. You got to make sure I'm not near the mutants when they go feral and start attacking and eating Nathan. Oh, man, I'm always hesitant when I see something. It's like, hey, do you want to... Nice. That brings back some memories.
All right. You guys make your way back through the passages, and sure enough, you find, following your various marks, and you make your way back to the medical bay door. You can kind of see through the panel, and there's a slight red warning glow off in the distance of one of the rooms. That the hum of the power to that door is no longer there.
Damn, now I'm really disappointed Mark didn't use this as the map.
What you mean?
The link that Daniel put there.
Oh, I didn't. Well, I did see that. And
well, we need to get in there because there's some creepy red lights. Those look like warning lights.
Like a warning lights of some kind.
Do we go toward those or away from those?
I'm going to go toward them.
What the
So
light?
Joe, you'll need to perform another forced entry here.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were about to make a health check or something for going feral.
A forced entry, eh?
Nathan will also just say, I got a bad feeling about this.
No.
You always say that, Nathan. You always say, I got a bad feeling about this door.
Yeah, but I really got a bad feeling about this.
All right, with some effort, but you hardly break any kind of sweat. You're able to kind of wedge the crowbar in. You grunt, peel, and then you can kind of much easier this time. The
Crowbar doesn't
doors
break.
kind of the crowbar doesn't break. You don't have that other than the stiffness of the doors on the rails and forcing it against the gears. You're able to get the door to slowly open up, and doesn't you find something easily to wedge in between, and passages available to you. The door opens, the room opens up into what looks like a used to be kind of a med bay, sick bay area, and another door where you see what looks like the glowing, like a red glow, says stasis chamber or stasis, and containment and stasis on the other side of the door.
Well, I don't know what these words mean in this context, so because it has been a really long time.
So you
Poke
have
around in here,
And it's in English.
it is in English.
then I might not speak it at all.
Does he not speak English?
No, I have English. Oh, I don't have written. I have spoken English, but not written.
But
I don't read stupid English letters.
They just look weird to him.
you can you note, like I said, there's, you can kind of loot in here. You do note that the passage leading into the containment stasis area is also another door, but it doesn't look like it's as barred and sealed like the other door.
Yeah, we have no reason to go there.
The red lights, the red lights indicate power.
Correct. So,
Right, then we need to go get some
Power
more
that
power
we wish
cells.
that we wish to collect.
Steal, borrow, whatever.
Liberate.
Liberate.
so passing through the medical bay, you can see like gurneys and what looks like most of the medical equipment seems to have been like hastily like taken away, like they had evacuated this structure at some point. But there's bins and stuff of old like gauze and stuff. But looking into the room with the stasis chamber, that's stasis, you notice what look like 6 pods. There's a red glow bar on pretty much all the pods. It's kind of like that's glowing, like a warning.
Okay. We'll have to examine these pods.
So as you kind of get to the pods, you note they have like the a little port that you can definitely see what looks like people in them. The pods have the pods are saying have a warning, power loss, emergency backup emergency pod power activated. Time to failure seems to be ticking down from about remaining power available like 10 minutes. And there
Wonderful.
are 6 of these pods.
There's some
I see
backup
you-
power here. We should take
see you-
those cells as well.
I see you found the frozen food section.
Is there any way to look into the pods?
Yes, they have like a little porthole, and you can definitely see what looks like a bunch of different men, all kind of like wearing like they all look asleep. They all are wearing what look like just like a bodysuit on. They have like a couple tubes plugged into them, wires attached to them, like monitoring. You can see a small like little panel above like the warning lights with what look like various small graphs and charts that kind of what you assume are some kind of vitals. Zeke recognizes it as a vitals readout, and it looks like of the 6, 4 of them are alive. 2 seem to have have passed. Somehow the system had failed long before you even removed power. Like they weren't supposed to necessarily be in the tubes for as long as they were.
Well, let's default with an electronic operations medical. See if I can kill Ethan's character while he's not here.
Do they have the machine?
Oh no!
One of you start to. Are you attempting to open it up?
Well, I'm trying to I don't know, see what I can figure out. See if I can't change this stupid language to something that I can read.
Okay. You kind of putz around with one of them, and it's like
I can hear you.
you push a few buttons, and you hear the snap hiss of a seal breaking. The system kind of does a warning, and then it the seal breaks, the pod kind of open. You get that burst of slight cold air, and it opens up, leaving the body kind of exposed. There's a moment as you're all kind of watching as the body slowly thaws and then starts twitching and then convulsing.
Well, I can do first aid there.
And then
Okay.
the alien burst out of its chest.
We should have
Give me a
Ethan
first
because of the
aid at a
failed
-5.
because of the failed roll. Ethan should wake up retarded.
So it's going to be at a -5.
You go in and go into his character sheet and change all his stats to 6.
Give him amnesia, temporary amnesia.
All right.
He thawed too quickly.
Honestly, I'd be tempted to clone the character and turn it into, retarded and go, here you go. And he'd go, wait a minute, this isn't my character. Oh, yeah, it is. Phil just screwed up and nearly killed you.
You kind of, you're able to, calm the body, and the breathing kind of slowly goes back to normal, but he doesn't, it doesn't seem like he's waking up anytime soon, but he doesn't seem like he's rapidly dying either. You're pretty certain that, in your attempt to go through the menu to figure out how to change the language, you somehow stumbled upon the, open button without going through proper steps. You probably hit an emergency override open of some kind.
Yep. That was Ethan's character. He's retarded now.
The rest of us can probably read English.
Well,
I'll have Nathan read the English to me because, he doesn't have blue hair or distorted jaw thing. So I think he's not a mutant.
All right.
It says here that the guy's now retarded. You screwed up. He's retarded.
Well done,
Right.
Zeke. Zeke, where'd you get your medical degree from? We're just kind of.
What is a medical degree in a post-apocalyptic setting? He was
That-
like
that's-
probably
That says
he
it
was
all.
probably like
Yeah.
taught by an actual doc. No, the actual doctor taught somebody and then died, and then he learned from the guy who was taught by the actual doctor.
And that doctor was a veterinarian. But anyway, that's another story.
Hey, I have veterinary at 13.
Again,
It
that
seemed to-
explains it all.
It seemed to make sense because it's like, okay, yeah, well, we got horses or dogs or whatever. And, I need to use veterinary on the mutants.
Specialization is for insects.
Big, bite your head off kind of insects.
Right.
You figure with Nathan's help and kind of walking you through the procedures that you can give me another roll. I just in the box.
Hold on. I want to look at the skill again. Because
Do you?
IQ minus
see.
5. Default IQ minus 5. IQ electronics repair same minus 5, or engineer electronics minus 5. So yeah, nobody's not going to have that. Has anybody got a higher IQ than 12?
Nope.
Great. Okay, here we go.
The different specialties default at -4,
Some of them, I think. I don't think
unless
they
it
all.
specifically says
Nathan,
otherwise.
give me a computer operations check, and with a success, you'll be able to grant or not grant Zeke a bonus.
I grant Zeke a penalty.
Uh-huh.
So
Sweet.
a minus
We're all
one.
going to be retarded.
This you don't want to assist with a default.
I'm looking through there. I don't see any reference
Just
to
use your
electronic
you had,
ops.
medical.
No, the specialties default to one another at -4. So Nathan actually has electronic operations, correct?
Yes.
He does.
What is his skill level at that?
His highest is 12.
So
Yeah.
actually,
That'd
it would be
8. That would be 1 point higher than my
Okay,
my
so
default.
let's do it this way. Zeke, give me a medical first aid, and if you succeed, you'll grant a bonus to Nathan. Because Nathan's saying, basically Nathan's reading off, okay, it says this, and you're kind of like thinking about it. It's like, okay, yes, push that one. So, yeah, Nathan, you make the roll.
I will take
Do it as a-
extra time, so I'll sit there and just
Okay.
study it.
And every time it pops up, are you sure? You go, no. No, let me go back and reread this.
Okay, so this is at -4, right?
Yes.
It'll be -3 because I gave you a +1.
You can do it. Jesus.
Oh!
I'm going to luck.
No, that's Daniel's character.
Oh, this is awesome.
Mark's like waving
you
goodbye to
taking
his,
extra
his
time
plan.
anyway.
Yeah, but it's still a critical failure. It's an 18. He meant to say no, and he hit yes.
So this last one there will succeed. So I really do
Gotcha.
think, Mark, you should fail forward on all these rolls and give them a temporary disadvantage, like Klutz or something like that.
Yeah, that's easy for you to say since you're not playing one of those characters. Maybe you should get that.
No, we'll just get klutz, and with the first time we fail, we go, "Oh, sorry, negligent discharge of my firearm into Nathan's back."
Uh-huh.
Okay, so as you're completing the procedures, you're able to complete the procedures on another pod, and it seems like it does the basically states, cryostasis, reversal, whatever, initialized, and you can hear like various gases, fluids, whatever start to go, and you watch the panel, the stats panel, start to kind of pick up. The heart rate starts to rise, body temperature starts to rise, and it's like patient normalized. Then you start working on the second one, doing the same thing, and just as you finish that one, you get the same kind of readout, and it says patient normalized. And then that what I just sent you happens, and everybody, there is
Who'd you
all of a sudden there's a large rock, like the whole building and structure just kind of shakes from under you. Everyone give me a dex check.
You said you sent something. Who did you send it to?
Oh, I sent something to Nathan. Nathan, you're able to keep your footing.
Nope.
Joel, you kind of you keep your footing only by grabbing hold of something. Salvador, about the same, and Zeke is thrown to the ground. But the whole structure kind of like shakes and rocks, but you could tell it came from somewhere above, and it was like just a large explosion just occurred. And then
what the hell was that?
Just as you guys kind of start to pick yourselves up, you hear the creak and grind of various structures, and the ceiling above kind of gives way. One of the beams falls and just crashes into the last cryopod, shattering right down, almost spearing it straight through. Then, as you're all kind of like, there's a debris that's like falling in and around the area. That everyone's kind of choking. You hear like the whine of what sounds like various parts of the structure giving way above you and around you. But you seem to have revived 3 of the remaining pods, and 2 of them start to kind of, their eyes flutter and awaken. For Giger and Rigel, you may select Shepherd and Fisher.
Yep.
Fisher, as you two slowly awaken to what's that feeling like of falling, and you're kind of jolted awake, and you're in a dark chamber lit by what seems like some kind of torchlight and the faint glow of stuff.
Staring at the most hideous monster I've ever seen.
And
that's Fisher.
What you guys are wearing is it's basically a ruggedized wicking underwear. It's just a full body suit, but it is ruggedized. It's not going to just tear on anything, and it does grant you like the protections of a regular pair of clothing for now.
What the bloody hell is going on?
And it looks like you're in a large kind of open chamber. I think I even have a sort of a photo that might work.
Okay, I'm wondering how Shepard would react to that. He's probably going to slide into the military mindset, with a sound off sort of thing.
So of course, Joel will self-consciously wrap his scarf up around his mouth, seeing as how these are newcomers to Joel.
Speak a language that we understand.
Yes.
They have not spoken yet.
Well, or they haven't
Well,
spoken yet.
it was probably speaking in English. Shepard's automatically doing it in English because we're not quite fully conscious.
I need a cigarette and some whiskey, not necessarily in that order.
As you guys are kind of laying there, the structure around you seems to shake, and there's another what sounds like a distant explosion somewhere far above you.
That's familiar sounding music.
I don't know what your story is, but we got to get out of this place.
I don't believe this facility is entirely stable.
You see,
Not entirely stable.
You see, of the team of 6 that left in the 6 chamber the pods, 2 of them show life signs at negative. One has part of the ceiling structure and speared through it, and you see Gordon body looks like he's unconscious but alive, and one of the other pods.
Wait, I thought was Gordon not the one that we screwed up the first time?
Gordon was the one you screwed up the first time, but he's alive.
And did you say negative life signs, as in they're undead?
No. Null. We're not negative, but null.
They show no life signs, but they're moving around.
And then there are
They also seem very angry.
4 other individuals with you in this, but they don't look, and they aren't dressed in any kind of military garb or manner. They seem,
So the local language is what?
Polish.
Okay, so it is Polish.
That's what, when you went to sleep, that was the local language. I'm not gonna, I'm gonna assume that you know enough. Everyone that speaks English and Polish, because
both Daniel and I actually spent points on languages.
Okay, gotcha.
Because we're weirdies.
Well,
I might give those to you free. You remember that what you remember after your last op, you remember that you had come in contact with some kind of what was described as some kind of nanovirus. They weren't sure what the effects were. You weren't symptomatic in any way, other than it was noted that you were in fact infected, that you had the presence of this in you. They tried a couple different methods to see if they could clean it out using was blood filtration. Nothing seemed to function. You never did get worse, so they put you. It's like we're not sure what's going to happen, so we don't want to mess with this, or we don't feel it's safe to keep you around, but we could put you in a sleep while we test and monitor what the potential effects. So they did. So you and your team of operators, which originally totaled probably 8 to 6, returned alive, and of the 6 that were alive, only 3 of you seem to remain.
Well, bollocks.
I think I do have a note or a story note or a question.
Holy shit! What happened to Bob? Looks like the ceiling got him. I told him this would not end well.
I think I can share that too.
You can share it, but should you?
I don't know. Can you open that note?
Yes.
Yes.
The wall of text. Too much text.
Well, and that's for later. But most importantly, the building shakes again. You hear what sounds like a screech, and I need everyone to make if a dodge of some kind, as what seems like a wall of fire seems to be shooting through the facility and down the corridor into your area.
Sweet. All right, Zeke. Let me down, please. Oh, crap.
Nathan will
Oh,
dive.
Yeah, you can dive. Diving is a very appropriate.
What's dive give us again? I don't remember.
Plus
Plus
three.
3.
3.
Nope, he's not going to dive. It wouldn't have mattered. So he probably dived and failed.
Why is your dodge only 6?
Because I had forgotten to turn on all of his stuff. And for whatever stupid reason, my surgical instruments are 20 freaking pounds.
Whoa, that seems like a surgical suite, not a surgical bag.
Wow.
Go Fisher.
Even without them, it's going to be in 6. Okay, let me got to do math. 6, but yeah, he would have still failed.
Okay. 2d6 burn. Oof. Ah!
I guess we should see how bad off Salvador is going to be.
Ethan-
But after this, I am not concerned.
Ethan didn't make the roll because he's not moving. So you said I'm taking 2D burn?
2d burn. Let's see.
Oof.
Oof. Yeah, that's right. All right.
He is in shock, stunned,
Yeah, stunned.
and probably screaming really loudly.
Well, he's not in catch fire himself, because isn't it like 10 and you catch fire?
10 and you're
Depends.
engulfed. I think it's 7 and you are a light. And you have to spend.
He is a light.
He is a lit. Ika's on fire. All right.
Is Daniel about to contest that?
I don't know.
I think that's a bit off.
I think it's 6 or 7 that your clothes are alight.
Making things burn.
I could never remember.
Let's see. Clothing, 10 points. Flesh, 30 points.
So clothes have to take a full 10 to go light. Okay.
I should probably double check his gear to make sure he doesn't have anything that'll
Flammable?
catch on fire. Like
Yeah,
the
that's
loose
particularly
bullets that are in his pocket.
Yeah, he has a few bullets.
Yeah, but I don't think 9 points of fire is enough to set those things off.
Actually, that's an interesting point. How much does it take to kick
hold
off
on,
ammo?
hold on. I forgot. Zeke actually has luck.
Oh. He succeeds.
So he's going to take these by 0.
All right. So
Salvador
everyone
probably has
kind of
luck, too.
dives. In fact,
Except
Fisher has the presence of mind to pull Gordon's body off the
and use him as a
slab
shield.
and
Maybe
Way
a
to
little.
go, Fisher.
and save Gordon from taking any damage. But Gordon's completely out of it. He seems like he is
He's
completely
truly too.
zoned.
It looks like he's kind of retarded.
But you're all like, what the heck? And yet again, like the structure around you seems to, you hear what sounds like a part, it feels like part of the corridor nearby collapses. There's like small other like pops and crunches of whatever, of the structure giving way, and
I do
everything
believe it's
shakes
time
again.
for us to all leave.
Are we under
can deal
attack?
with it. We can deal with the introductions later. We needed guns. Where's the armory? We're under attack, right? It says bloody Russians.
We
I don't
didn't
think we're
find
under
any
attack.
armory when we came down here.
We got a lot to tell you, fellas, but this is definitely not an attack.
Feels like an artillery strike.
All right. So how I'm going to be running this is you have a few obstacles to work your way through.
Luckily, we have Gordon, which we can just throw down on the ground if we need to, and
Yep.
run over him.
Yep, you can throw him at the rats as a distraction.
Exactly.
I had considered doing this as a skill challenge, but I figured it just works easier in light of things as various obstacles that you are encountering. So, you all do, in fact, have a really good sense that you do not want to be here. As you kind of exit the medical lab or medical and labs area, you do note that there seems to also be some water kind of running down like some of the various like side parts of the area, and you're guessing that anyone have combat engineering of any kind?
Yeah.
Fisher, it seems like the amount of water that's coming in seems to be consistent with probably some ruptured cisterns. And you, both Shepard, Fisher, will also remember that this base was built really close to and utilized a nearby river for power and water. So whatever is going on could potentially have breached part of what the plumbing and access to that river. So while you know you're probably a few floors up, the water where you're at right now is probably doing its best to fill in the levels below you.
As he's running through the medical bay, Joel wants to see if he can just quickly scoop up a handful of gauze or something like that.
Sure. You grab a small tray that looks like you have some miscellaneous medical supplies. Give me 2d10 times 10. Yeah, I don't know. If you type in /dice 2d6 and then with a star, and then I said 10, right? And then if you type all that in and hit enter, it should roll.
You said /dice 2d6 times 10?
/dice space 2d6 and then asterisk 10.
I thought the asterisk didn't work. Or was that just on
the rule set? So your combat tabs and stuff. It doesn't.
Right.
I don't think that command's going to work.
You could just roll 2d6 and we can math it.
All right, so you get just record $60 worth of medical supplies, and then
That's a lot of medical supplies.
Well, it's like gauze and all that kind of stuff. It's probably a first aid kit's worth of stuff.
All right. So we
As
need
you-
to get out of here.
You guys make it out of the lab area, and you immediately turn the corner. You can see the your lanterns kind of do light up, and torches say light up the exit that way, kind of thing. And you run right into what looks like a collapsed and breached floor. You can see the floor below you. You could, you figure you could either jump across the breach, or potentially climb across, or you could even jump down to the floor below, or go around.
Nathan
I
will
guess
climb.
I can. I guess I could jump over there and then try to assist everybody coming
Okay.
back.
All right. Those who want to try and so your shepherd kind of backs up, takes a run, and jumps across.
Holy
Nathan,
crap, tried to fail.
you kind of like use some of the footholds and handholds of the corridor besides, and you're able to kind of shimmy across.
Salvador has rope and grapple.
Okay.
Show me the idol. All right. How are we getting Gordon across?
We should attach him to tie him to Joel. So Joel is like Chewie, and Gordon is 3PO on his back.
That'll work.
Well,
We are
that's
going to have
not
to
what I
remove
was
arms and
thinking,
legs,
but it might work anyway.
Because that is a very large fellow.
And you know what? Even with, let's see, what is the normal encumbrance modifier? It's like -1 for each level,
I think.
something like that. Well, even at even at potentially -3 for having a heavy load, Joel is easily able to clear that with a success by 4.
Yeah, I can carry 975 pounds on my back.
Well, I don't think Gordo's that heavy yet.
No.
I mean, he has been slacking off in his job, but
And so Zeke
right, yeah.
and Zeke and
Zeke.
Now, if you use the grapple and rope, I'll grant a bonus to your rolls.
Yeah, I should have done. Yeah, Zeke's gonna do a really risky climb, so his daredevil thing kicks in.
Okay. So he kind of looks up and kind of does the monkey bars thing across,
Like an idiot.
while Nathan uses the side wall and boulders across.
So now you need to roll for other dude there, Daniel. Oh no!
Bonus for the grapple.
Bonus for the grapple. So between you
And I am trying to pull people over as well.
Yep. So easily, Fisher's easily able to. There's a moment where you kind of like, whoa, like just as you're kind of crossing the building rocks, your hand comes away from the wall for a second, but you're able to stabilize and make your way complete it. Now, Salvador.
Salvador is an NPC.
I think he failed and plunged to his doom.
Salvador is an NPC. Where is my Salvador? Salvador, here we go. Salvador. Skills.
So you're saying I should not have Zeke active anymore, Daniel? Is that what you're saying?
I am kind of saying that.
Oh no.
Zeke is now an NPC as well. He went, I feel less PC-like.
Although I feel like Salvador is probably going to leave that goddamn shield behind, because that's 30 freaking pounds.
So Salvador starts to, he throws the grapple across. Shepard easily hooks it against something. and they kind of and it helps Fisher and Salvador. That
No, we're gonna use the shield as a stretcher.
Oh,
if
there you go.
necessary.
That's a really heavy stretcher.
That's nothing to Joel. So as Salvador is crossing, just behind Fisher, the jolt and quake that nearly shakes Fisher off does in fact shake Salvador off, and he falls to the floor below.
Yeah.
And what is 12 feet?
For an NPC,
A long way.
it's auto death because they land
Is
on
it one?
they land
one
on the
D per-
rebar.
They have a
What's that?
simplified one in action. Hang on.
An NPC, he just like gets rebar through his chest and dies.
Balls. What is it? 12 feet, you said?
12 feet.
So
3
4
yards.
yards, 2D
4
minus 1.
yards. Yep. 2D minus 1.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel should roll it.
Well,
'Cause he's
Daniel
trying
should
to
roll.
kill his NPC.
And random hit location.
Oh, yeah. And
I can do that.
Oh, roll the random hit. Oh,
Hey,
no.
Yeah, that was
Breaks
pretty
his
lame.
foot.
Yeah.
He lands and there's a snap crunch as his foot goes out from under him. And
How much
Salvador's
damage
at the
did you
bottom.
take?
Let's
3
see.
points.
3 points. And
Frankly, you got off kind of easy.
yeah, but
It's
isn't
not enough
that
to cripple it.
well, 3 points injury. What's his
And
hit
armor
points?
still does apply. It's considered.
Oh, he does
He's
have
wearing
boots.
armor?
He's wearing boots.
Yeah, he's wearing boots.
So his health, his hit points total.
Steel
was
toed
what?
even. I don't remember what it was, but
12 hit points. So quarter of that because it's a joint. So 4 hit points would be enough to
This
cripple it.
allows crippling with injury over hit points divided by 3.
Is it 3?
Or injury over hit points divided by 4 for an extremity.
Yeah, this is extremity. So divided by 4.
Yeah.
So, but it's it's still not quite. Yeah, he got off lucky.
it just really hurt.
Yeah, it really hurt. He figured if he'd landed any worse, he probably wouldn't be walking on that foot. So now you have Salvador below.
And then the feral mutants that are down there eat him.
Well, we already had the rope and grapple thing going, so he can probably just climb up that, although he sucks at climbing. Because he has it at default.
Yep. You guys pulling him, climbing.
We can help.
Yeah, it's going to
Yeah.
be one of those where
Yeah.
it's like, hold on to this. Hey,
Yeah.
you large
He's
fellow,
struggling.
help
Yeah.
me. And we like just sort of pull him up.
Actually, you want something?
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Ah.
All right.
Meanwhile,
I will
Zeke is
choose
Zed,
to
Zeke,
fail.
whatever. Zed/Zeke is like, we should leave him. In fact, he will leave everybody and keep on running.
There you
Okay.
go.
Nathan will climb down, attach some rope to the dude, and then Nathan will climb back up, and the rest of whoever's up there can pull him up.
We further down the corridor, we find Zeke has triggered the spear trap and is now pinned into the wall, dead.
Give me a. Actually, do give me a universe reaction roll, please.
For Zeke,
At
Zed,
a
Zeke,
at
whatever.
a -2, because I think lower numbers are
Dun, dun, dun.
make it worse.
Yes.
And I can't unluck it because I just used my luck.
Yep. So I hope it doesn't roll bad. Ooh.
That's not
You
good.
rolled
All
bad.
right. So there is just as you guys pulled Nathan back up, there's yet another crunch, rumble. More water seems to come out, but there's a pop, hiss, and a scream. I need 3D burn damage against Zeke.
I'm going to have Joel roll it.
Joel,
Oh,
roll me 3D damage.
I sure will.
Burning 8.
Burning it. Oh, okay. So Zeke. So okay, I'm just going to him off.
10 points. That puts
10
him
points.
at 0.
0. Okay. And 10
That means
points
he's on
sets him
fire.
afire, and he's
And his
also on
clothes are
fire.
on fire.
And he's on fire. All right.
Well, he didn't straight up pass out.
Okay. So give me another stop, drop, and roll for Zeke.
How does that work?
What, dexterity?
Dex, you have to make it 3 times in a row or something.
And you take how much damage in between?
1d minus
round?
4, I think it is.
Oh, well, he'll go into the negatives after the first one.
Well, then he'll take half dex. All right. So, well, the first one he makes.
If he
No,
stays
1d
conscious,
minus
he'll
1.
put himself out.
All right. So I need Joel. I need 3 rolls of 1d minus 1, or he said, for burn damage.
Yes.
So I'll need 3 rolls. So Zeke will take another point.
Okay, that puts him at -1. So
Okay, he's at
that's
now.
consciousness.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Ooh. So he'll take an. Ooh, he's at a death check.
He failed the first consciousness roll. So that means he did not succeed on the remaining 3.
Okay.
The remaining
so,
2.
Which means he needs to make a death check.
Yep. And okay.
Yeah.
Well, but he's unconscious, so he's just sitting there burning, dying. All right. And I'm not going to really go much further into that. As you guys kind of whip around the corner where you heard the scream, a pipe has burst. There is a jet of fire blocking your path.
And there's a scorched corpse on the ground.
And you see just past it what looks like that you see and smell the remains of what could be Zeke. It looks like he was trying to run past. The pipe burst in his face.
Just occurs to me, his clothes are on fire, and he's got 6 bullets in his pocket.
Give me a.
I don't think it's going to end well for him.
Yeah, those aren't going to do anything.
Yeah. There'll be probably eventually some pops.
They will pop.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
yeah,
You can see the fuel lines and everything else. I will need an engineering roll, followed by somebody making a mechanics roll to turn off the fuel line that's feeding the jet of fire. Alternatively, you can rush past it and take a 3D burn damage as if it was a flamethrower. You can try and squeeze past it. You'll still take some damage, but you can get kind of wedge yourself into the small corner and just kind of crisp yourself. I mean, I think only Joel can probably get away with that. In his thick hide.
Well, we've got a bulletproof shield.
That's true.
You could probably wedge that in front of it and kind of just, yeah, that would work too.
Let's start with that.
Yeah,
right.
I'll do that, and then chuff everybody. Go.
So in this situation, Zeke is Burke.
Yeah.
Yep. As you guys kind of get past, you wedge the shield in front of the jet of flame, diverting the flame kind of up and away from the corridor. Everyone's able to make it past Shepard, and there's the flaming remains of Zeke on the other side. He is unconscious and dead.
Does he have a med kit?
Can you be unconscious and dead?
Well, he is.
He had a med kit, but it was like, he's on fire.
Yeah, but you guys can put it out. Probably try and recover something from him.
Joel will just simply rip it off his burning body.
Well, it's not going to be. It's going to be like it's a backpack.
Yeah. So
Joel will just rip it off his body. I mean,
okay.
Let me do a strength check anyway.
Cool.
Wow, dick move.
Zeke would have understood.
Oh yeah, you tear the straps off, and you kind of pat the crisp bits of leather on the backpack. You're pretty certain you can hear the his gear inside.
Yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure everybody has now called him Zeke.
Yeah, it was meant to be said. I don't know why Zeke is just so much easier to say.
You're the one that kept calling him
I
Zeke.
know.
Yeah, I don't think any of the rest of the stuff's going to come with it.
Give me a health check on his pistol. Yep, I guess. Just what is
It's
it?
cheap.
Oh yeah, that 11. That'll fail then.
That's just basically like a major wound.
Oh, I'll just move it over. Call it damaged. You have to repair it.
Ooh. Oh.
It's there, but you'll have to, before anyone can actually use it, you'll have to do an armory check to repair it, bring it back to functionality.
I am going to make the presumption that the fire has basically irreparably damaged the bulletproof shield thing.
Hold on.
If not, I will totally carry it temporarily.
Oh no, it's fine.
What was the DR on that thing?
It's DR 10 with 80 hit points.
Yeah,
and
it can take that.
Yeah, and it's
you're not going to want to touch it.
Yeah, so it's going to be a little hot, but I mean, I figure. I mean, it started to get nice and toasty towards the end there as you guys were passing by, and you don't want to press that front of it to anyone's skin.
Well, yeah.
Unless you don't like it very much.
If it's too hot to carry, I'm just going to leave this stupid thing. Because,
right.
like Daniel said, it is kind of heavy.
As you guys, you guys, as the group makes it to the up another level and to where the original elevator shaft was, you do note that the elevator shaft is full of debris and parts of it are smoking and charred, and I mean you can't even look up the tunnel anymore. There's just it's debris. There's burning or what looks like burning bits of debris. There's no way you're going back up there. The water is kind of pooled to about your just barely to your ankles at this point. And
so what other routes are there out of this place?
You give me there is what looks like an emergency like you kind of notice on the wall, in a case of a fire, do not use stairwell, and emergency exit, and you see a arrow pointing another way. However, the problem that you note is there is a sealed door, and the door seems to be leaking a lot of water along the seams.
Mm-hmm. Is it all the way up or kind of like halfway down?
The water seems to be coming from about halfway up the door. So
yeah, let's not open that.
Right. So
actually, was that the stairs?
It looks like the path to the stairs. I need
okay.
However, give me a
so we're gonna have to
survival.
What survival?
Yes.
What
Which
survival?
Urban. or architecture, if you have that. All right. As you're kind of staring at that door, and Fisher says, "We're going to have to open it," you note that there looks like another, what looks like a possible maintenance hatch just up and above the door. Like you could probably get up there and get into the room beyond without having to open the door and flooding the corridor you're in.
Whoever designed this
Maintenance
facility
hatch
did not
above
have
us.
security in mind.
Right. Give me a leg up there, big guy. I will, presumably that Joel can sort of do the stir
Easy.
thing. I'll scramble up through that.
As you kind of pop up and over, you kind of, and they hand, Salvador hands you the light. You look into, the room, the corridor beyond looks like it. You could see what looks like the stairwell, but the room itself seems to be kind of flooded and growing. If you were to open that door, it would probably wash you all down the path. But you're pretty certain that you could kind of swim in and around the debris if you're careful.
Relate that.
Yeah, we'll just have to hang on to something.
So you have the option. You can kind of do the monkey bar climb against the wall and boulder your way around across the flooded corridor. You can swim across it, or you can try some other method to cross the corridor to the stairwell.
Nathan will
Assume
climb.
it's not that deep.
It's probably about chest high inside on this side of the corridor.
Well, if we open the door, it's not going to stay chest high.
Yeah, but it's going to be enough water to push you guys, potentially push you all down.
Right. So
you
if we hang on to something, we open the door, and it's
could do that.
reduced.
You could do that. It'll definitely be a strength check against the weight of the water, with any bonuses to whatever you're using.
I guess that depends on which way it opens.
I'm just gonna.
I guess it opens
swim it.
toward the water.
Yeah.
Well, not everybody here is probably adept at swimming.
All right. So Shepard will swim. Nathan is going to kind of boulder across the wall. How's Joel going to make his way through this flooded corridor?
Well, I guess I could try. It's either swimming or
You could climb, or if you think of something I'm not thinking of, I'm more than willing to hear the challenge.
Well, if they're anchored, I can swim to the door and open it from the inside.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I'll
Yeah.
try.
I'll get whooshed out. That's okay.
I'll try a climbing.
We'll tie everybody off or something, so we don't lose anybody, and we'll figure out between the lot of us we should be able to get the door open.
Well, we still have to lose Salvador.
You don't have to lose Salvador.
Yeah, we
Salvador is
do.
going to get lost.
He could make it, maybe.
He can make it. He's tough. He's got a strength 12. And
He
I
hasn't
think
used his luck yet.
Does he have a look?
Plus, he's got a
I
character
think he
sheet.
did.
He's important now.
I had a character sheet.
Yeah, but the doc was callous and selfish, and
Well, I
Well-
don't think he was selfish, but he was callous. It's like, and I figure in that case he was scared because it's like, oh crap, I don't want to die down here.
that's true.
He didn't realize they were PCs that he just woke up.
Right. What's Fisher's climbing skill, Daniel?
I got 12.
Yeah, that might just be the easiest way to. Oh, right, because Salvador hasn't
not-
climbed.
Yeah, he doesn't climb. Let's see. How does that work?
He is overconfident. That doesn't mean he won't try.
Yeah.
Yeah, do that, and then he can drown. It'll be tragic.
All right. Let's see. Let's see if he makes it. Salvador will attempt to also climb through.
Was that Dex -5 or 4?
Oh, he makes it.
Oh, okay.
Because he's got a really high dex.
Yep. So he's at he
I
does.
guess everybody's climbing then.
So you guys kind of tie yourselves to each other, and
You tried to fail. You really did.
Against the water and the rising water, you eventually make it to the what looks like a stairwell. Looking up the stairwell again, you're faced with mostly parts of the stairs are collapsed and broken in on each other. You figure with a little bit of effort, you guys can make it your way up.
We'll carry some debris along for spanning in case we need it.
Okay. It doesn't take you too much effort, but it does take you time. And eventually, with the shaking and the rocking of the building, there's yet one more large kind of explosion, but this one seems like it's much further below. And your guess is it's somehow the tanks below ruptured, causing yet another explosion below you. And eventually, I need you get to the top, and part of the area is covered in debris. I will need a strength check. Forced entry will work as well from Joel, because he's the muscle. Without too much effort, Joel's able to kind of grip and shove and push debris up and out of the way, granting you access to fresh air.
Well, sort of.
Sort of. Fresher air. You find yourselves, for those who remember where you guys originally parked, a bit distance, a bit of a few, maybe a half a block
We
away
were
from
in an abandoned warehouse.
They were. Where you come up from, though, isn't part of the warehouse, but what looks like a part of a building that has been collapsed and destroyed and broken in. What greets Nathan and Joel and Salvador, however, is you look to where you believe the warehouse to have been, and it's just fire and mayhem. It looks like something, like the fuel truck or the fuel tanker you had seems to have erupted. Most of the structures, what isn't already collapsed in on itself is on fire. You don't see anybody around, and you don't see or hear anyone. In fact, you see what looks like maybe a couple lumps thrown from the warehouse itself. That could be bodies.
So we can assume that the whole group that we're traveling with, they're all dead?
You can assume whatever you want.
You can assume that.
Would we have any sense of how this all came to pass? Was it actually the storm?
You're not sure. I will need you can investigate.
Well, Nathan's going to run over there to look for survivors.
Okay.
And I guess that's a observation roll?
Yeah. Observation, better of observation, search, or any other skill you see. If you have, I know there's search and rescue, but I don't think anyone has it.
Yeah, no.
As you're kind of digging through, Nathan, it's tragic. You don't know it's catastrophic. Whatever happened here, it went bad to worse. You kind of know most of the bodies, but then just as you're starting to give up hope, you hear a whimpering cry, and you move a piece of debris that seems to have wedged itself against a barrier wall and part of the a structure, and one of the children from the group is miraculously unharmed, but scared and stares out at you from behind it as you move it away. You're quite
We need a newt in the group. I'll say, Rebecca, just wait there. I'll come get you.
Nathan. All right, what is everyone else doing while you guys watch Nathan run off to start searching through the debris and looking for survivors?
I'm trying to figure out if we're under attack.
Yeah, same.
Shepard and Fisher, this place is old. I mean, you're like, and the damage to this base seems like to have come under heavy assault and attack. I mean, you can see and assess what looks like weapons fire, looks like missiles and artillery. This place came under heavy attack at some point, but not recently, like years ago. Like, wait, how long have you been asleep? This place looks completely destroyed.
Not to mention the
abandoned.
freakish mutant that's walking around.
Yep, and
Well,
just
he had his mouth covered up, though.
Yeah, he is hulkingly big, though. I mean, this guy is a
Ain't got
giant.
time for that.
It's true. I am this
Big
massive
guys
thing.
exist.
Yeah,
We
probably
haven't seen him
gonna
do anything weird yet.
also head over to the freaking area that Nathan's at. Do the same sort of thing. Actually, just occurred to me.
Joel says, I am curious. Do you remember, when you guys went into those pods? Like, what year was it?
Let's see.
What year was it?
Let's see. It's approximately 2077
2000
now.
20.
Mumble.
25, I think it was. Something like that. It wasn't that long.
It was about the current year is 2077. It was 2048 approximately when you guys went into the pods.
I don't think that's right.
Let's see, 25 years.
25 years,
and then
25
4
years
years
was
of
the
war.
end of the war. And
Yep, 4 years prior to that.
Thank you, else.
4 years of the AI war. So you could,
and we were before
2040.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought
20
we were like in basically
20
modern day.
Yeah, I think yeah, whatever. Yeah, it was a long time ago. It's definitely over 30 years.
So Joel would have a sense of how much time has passed, wouldn't he?
Yeah, for them. Yeah, you're like at least, what they say, you're figuring at least 30 years.
So Joel will say, I remember when this all went down, and I was, I think, in my early 20s. I'm 49 now.
Huh.
All right, so flashbacks. If you fail, that's,
No, I didn't fail. No,
okay.
it's 6 or less.
6 or less. Gotcha. All right.
I just remembered it. I should have rolled it at the beginning of the. As soon as it starts becoming stressful.
Right, so rescue ups.
Yes, Salvador also rushes into the area looking for survivors and what he can do. I don't know what he's just going to do a straight perception. Holy cow! Salvador shouts out, "It's like, I found somebody over here. He's really badly hurt." And
I'm not happy with.
Smells like almonds.
He's very badly burned. Anyone else participating in?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
assisting, however.
Okay. All right. Give me a observation, search, or straight perception.
Holy crap, I don't have observation? That's fine.
All right. And Fisher? Sure. All right. So everyone kind of scouts around and looks and tries to find any more bodies, of which, unfortunately, only the Rebecca and who you guys recognize as Marshall. He was one of the other medics of the group. Fisher, as you're looking around, you notice what looks like a with what you can identify as a fuel truck exploded, and then there were some additional fuel cisterns kind of hit, probably up underground and nearby that also went up.
Oh, that's about right.
That caused, so when one catastrophically exploded, caused a chain reaction. And being that they were all in kind of this enclosed area, it all kind of just went, haywire. With a fuel, there was no place for the explosion. It was basically the firecracker in a hand kind of thing, and everyone was inside. Shepard, while you don't notice anyone around, you do note there seems to be part of of the structure, another that seems to have been opened up, possibly with another vehicle elevator that was collapsed nearby the original path that the scavengers had taken.
All right. Well, I'll have to point that out to everybody.
Like something else, another path down. But again, looking down, you can see what looked like, the flickers of water off of the flames nearby. So everything below ground seems to have kind of flooded. I'm going to, as you guys kind of look through and scavenge around and see what you can find, I'm going to say for Fisher and Shepard and Gordon, the gear that you purchased is what you're able to salvage here amongst the debris and wreckage. So you'll be able to gear up that way.
Well, that was a lucky find.
Yep. Newt tells you, Nathan, that it came out from one of the elevator, and it just started attacking everyone. And
What
then
came out?
something I don't know, but it was angry. It had red glowing eyes. It started attacking, and I think somebody shot the fuel tank or the tanker. And then I just remember like the roar of an explosion and like a wave of heat followed by another explosion, and people were screaming. Did you find my mom and dad? Are they okay?
Oh, look, where was your brother?
He was over there somewhere near the food truck, or near the wagon with the food. He was with my mom and dad. Are they still there?
I'll look for them. So Nathan will take Rebecca aside and hand it to one of the newcomers. Look after her. And then Nathan excuse me, Nathan will go have a look, see if he can see the parents and brother.
How you doing, kid?
He just stares at you wearing what looks like a kind of that body suit, like a
Well,
if you were a luge
I've
guy.
got. Well, we've got the gears, so
Yeah,
probably
as you're
like,
kind of trying on stuff, and he's like, "Are you from a caravan or from one of the towns?"
I'm from London,
Where's London?
in England.
What's that?
Dear Lord, they have messed up your teaching, your education.
You have a
teaching.
funny accent, mister.
Actually, he does speak Polish
Exactly.
accented.
Actually, that's a question.
Unfortunately,
What language
go
are
ahead.
they speaking here?
I imagine it'd probably be a pigeon of some sort.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. A pidgin, Polish, English hybrid of some kind. Many of the Poles at the time spoke English, and of course you had NATO, and then whatever Russians were there. Eventually, it's like the when the threat became the robots, and you kind of have to put aside that we were once fighting each other, now we're fighting a greater threat, kind of thing. And I'm sure there's probably more common, there's some more commonality between Polish and Russian than even English, but you know how that goes.
Joel will take some gauze and kind of tear it off into thin strips and start to floss.
Still trying to get the
Nathan,
dog out of your teeth?
You do find what at least one body that looks like it sort of matches the description of her father, but
Has something on his face. something exploded and hit him in the face.
Yeah, but you eventually are able to as you kind of go through, find some bodies and kind of line them up. It looks like what the folks that you can find, you're able to identify most of the people that were with the caravan.
I'm probably gonna have to switch to English when I'm speaking to Fisher. It's like, you have any idea what the hell's going on? I'm afraid
Not a
we were
damn
into
clue.
there. I'm afraid we were under for quite a long time.
I will need since give me everyone can I get a scavenge or a scrounging roll with a +2 from everybody as they go through the debris outside of the gear that you do find that matches your equipment. You will find additional stuffs. All right. Let's see. What is that going to be? So for those who are successful by 4 or less, for Nathan, who is successful by 5 or greater, let's see, evens, weapon, odds, armor. Find a weapon there, Nathan.
That was mine.
Or
It doesn't actually. It doesn't say who rolled the table.
Oh, that's weird.
That is weird. Well, yes, it does.
Yes, it does. That's
It
Fisher.
just doesn't say
table,
the result.
scrounging.
The result
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
say who rolled it.
Oh,
The dice roll
Yeah, it's
shows
just
it.
underneath the bottom. Yeah, it's underneath
Yeah.
the bottom.
Yeah. So Fisher found miscellaneous gear worth 2d times 20. So
we must have
Nathan,
just rolled at the same time.
yeah. Oh, I don't know why that. Why am I? Stop. Keep grabbing. And Salvador.
You could actually, for the weapon and armor, you could roll the dungeon fantasy treasure table. Find out
Oh,
what
that's a
sort
good
of
call.
weapon.
Oh, that's
armor.
long and complicated, though.
And Salvador found something too. Consumables. I guess not all the food and water was destroyed in the. Salvador, shouts out, it's like, "Hey, looks like most of the food survived, or some of the food survived." Oh, that did not roll in the box for whatever reason. $2,500 worth of food.
Woohoo!
So that's a lot of rations. I'm just going to break that down into rations for you guys. What is that? Ration is how much per?
It's 2 per ration.
Oh, so that's probably more than just rations. Well, 2. That's
$12.50.
oof. That's a lot of, divide by, let's see.
Just looking, I'm going to have to adjust one of my disads now because Sense of Duty Nation doesn't really apply.
Well, it kind of depends.
For the game, I don't think it's going to apply.
I mean, if you run across somebody that is British, I was kind of assuming that as well.
I'll give it to you guys. One of the food carts looks like was spared most of the brunt of the damage. So there is a cart. One of the carts is had actually survived. So there's about 30 days worth of rations for available. For actually 30 days of rations for 10 people. I would say actually make that 20 days of rations for 10 people, and another 10 days of fodder for animals if
So 200 days of rations.
Pretty much all in a cart with a dead animal.
So add that to the party sheet.
Let's see, there's rations there. And I said
200 days, so
was it 200 times? Is it 1 ration per day, or is it 3 rations per day?
3 per day.
Yeah, okay, that's 1 meal. So that would be 600 meals.
There you go. It's in there. You do have a if you guys repair it, doesn't seem to be too, like I said, too badly damaged. Like a single horse-drawn cart.
What about the horse?
The horse is dead. Horse didn't make it.
Oh, I see where this is going.
So the engine is out.
Without an engine, yes.
Yeah, we know exactly where this is going.
It's like one of those a converted bed of a truck with that they use for like an old like a Toyota pickup truck bed that's been kind of converted into a cart.
I'm going to roll a d6 until I get a 4, 5, or a 6.
There's a 5.
Okay, I'm just rolling on the Dungeon Fantasy treasure thing.
Okay. Cool. If you come
So-
up with something that meets the value and it's not magical, that'll work.
So a 5 and a 4.
I guess that's a thing that they really need for After the End is a treasure book.
Actually, you know what? I have
So
something
it's
that might work.
armor.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you got the Twilight 2000 stuff, don't you?
Well, I was.
Yeah, that wouldn't
don't know
really
if it
work
has, like-
though because of the
well,
price is going to be different.
I do have something else. Mutant Year Zero has like a equipment chart or a random equipment finder thing that I can use. Let's see if I can find where I put that.
666. Wow. Alright, so according to this, it would be a studded leather shirt.
Go for it.
Or, sorry, skirt.
Oh, skirt.
Go for it.
Whatever.
It's a studded leather kilt.
So it'd be something like a, yeah, like a blacksmith's leather, apron thingy.
That will work. Roll 3d6. I don't need the total. I just want to see what the number is.
Who?
Anybody. Actually, everyone roll me 3d6. Let's see, 164. Nathan, you find a coffee one of like a coffee press that's still functional. Joel. Joel, you find what looks like one of the a children's sketchbook and what looks like some makeshift crayons and pencil. Shepherd 632. You find a functioning umbrella, Shepherd,
Did he give it to Rebecca?
and Fisher. You both find functioning umbrellas.
Hey, that's my umbrella. We're like holding the same umbrella.
Just for sake, reroll for Fisher.
The copy press have a weight?
What do you mean, like a? It's like a French press. It's like one of those it's a makeshift French press kind
like
of
1
deal.
pound?
Oh, it's like a French press, so it's got like the metal, the screen. You pour the grind in, you pour it with hot water, and then you just press it down.
Wait.
So it'd be about 1
Weight.
pound in weight?
Oh yeah. Probably more like it's makeshift. It's like a metal can that somebody found a screen and built a kind of a plunger. So yeah, about a pound.
Added
Fisher
coffee press to the inventory or the party sheet.
446. Fisher you find a usable canteen full of water.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
another canteen, and 6-5, and Salvador finds a bottle of whiskey. Somebody was, had been keeping, apparently. I'll put that on the party sheet. Oh, we lost Moto. Hello, am I there?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Looks like
But are
Moto
we?
looks like Moto got disconnected from the game. Are you there, Padre?
I'm here. Yeah,
Oh.
that's kind of odd. It just disconnected.
Well, sometimes it does that.
All right. So, after kind of clearing through debris and everything else, you do have one injured man there. I will need a first aid check.
No one
Oh,
has.
you have two.
If no one has better first aid,
I have
Nathan
it
has.
at 11, so
And
Nathan's
Joel
12.
Joel does have a makeshift first aid kit as well, from what he was able to quickly gather from the
I have a
med bay.
first aid kit.
All right, so Nathan will first aid.
This guy is
the marshal, isn't it?
Yeah, his name is Marshall. He was one of the guards / scavengers. He's you notice he is very badly injured. He's got what looks like at first glance you thought it might have been a bullet hole, but it is singed. The puncture wound seems to be singed in and around the area, and you've seen this before. It looks like he was hit by laser fire.
Laser fire.
Yep. So whatever he encountered, he somehow got shot by a laser. He is.
And the only thing that has lasers would be robots, right?
Yeah.
Do we see the remnants of a robot in the rubble? You
didn't find or see anything, and you guys have been through that rubble pretty darn well at this point. He is in critical condition. He is unconscious, and he will need constant medical care to recover.
Pity the surgeon just got incinerated.
Right.
So Nathan's going to go gather the group. He's going to say, this injury here is a laser wound. That means there's a robot around here somewhere. Rebecca said she saw something come out of the shaft with glowing red eyes.
Robots with glowing red eyes.
We need to move.
For Shepard and Fisher, you do remember that military powers were starting to use robot.
Do you mean a drone?
Drones, and semi-autonomous battle droids were kind of like becoming the new thing for to be used in the war against the Russians.
Well, this future kind of sucks.
We don't want to run into this robot. It's not amongst the rubble, so it survived. We need to pack up and we need to move fast.
Roger that.
Joel, can you help me with Marshall?
I sure can.
see. Let me bring up Poland. Share. There we go. So Poland, yay. You are located at the truck, and the last visit you were at was Sanok. Premisil was another town and or potential spot that you can go to. You
Where's
do
the
recall
nearest NATO facility?
that you can
From
recall
from our perspective, yeah.
from your perspective. Rostov, just outside of Rostov, was outside of this facility. Rostov was another military camp.
Rest.
Or Reznov or Reznov.
Oh, okay. I see what you're. That. I wonder how you are supposed to pronounce that.
Stand by.
Rezno.
Yeah, I was about to.
For Nathan and Joel, you do recall that there was a small town that you guys had your caravan had recently traded goods with south in the Sanok.
Rzeszów.
Nathan's going to look for robot tracks.
Give me a tracking. Note that it has recently rained and.
But he's looking for tracks, as in
Gotcha.
the robot left.
Gotcha.
Which way the robot left.
Right. Give me a tracking roll. It takes you a bit as the lighting is getting darker through the evening, but you do eventually find what look like bipedal tracks that resemble that of a robot, and it seems to have gone in a north easterly direction, following down through the road to actually an easterly direction, following the road. Somewhere in that direction. Like
so
it was
probably headed toward Przemysl.
Well, Nathan will
Przemysl.
report. I found some tracks for the robot. It went to the east. I would advise that we don't go that way.
I advise we heed that advisement.
Now, it's common knowledge that the robots are really tough. They're like
Yes.
bad news, right?
For definitely Nathan and Joel. Obviously, Fisher and Shepard are aware that robots are typically pretty tough, but they've never fought against a robot. It was just new tech that their armies were beginning to throw at each other.
Yep, this future pretty much sucks. So, what are we doing with the bodies here? I mean, I'm presuming if Nathan is like super urgent, or we got to get out of here, and Joel is basically backing him up, then we're like, okay, well, what are we doing with the bodies? We're gonna take the time to do like a quick grave for them.
Let me see. We would be quite accustomed to death, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, but yes.
Oh no.
Why is it 0? Charitable 0.
It's not
Should be like
right.
12.
So that's still a fail. So Nathan's going to feel compelled to bury them.
All right.
Yeah, I'll definitely lend a hand with that. I've put my folding shovel to use.
I was going to say, I found an e-tool. And
All right.
it'll just take a while.
Yeah, and we can, in the process, we can get caught up with what the hell is going on, why everything
Joel
looks like
with a
ass.
ridiculous strength could probably just use a, I don't know, big sheet of steel and just dig massive holes.
Can climb back down and get that. Try to get that bulletproof shield and use it like a frickin', I don't know, bulldozer.
I'll happily use a foldable shovel. What the heck?
All right. It takes a while, but you're able to eventually get the bodies buried. It's
Yeah,
well
like
into evening. It's it's well past dark by the time you're done. You guys have a fire going by now, and so you'll have to kind of sleep through the rest of the night. Based on if you are to go to Sanok, you figure that's about a good day's hike to get there from where you're at.
Where is our settlement? Is it in Sanok?
You don't have one. Your settlement is your caravan, and that is
Okay,
no
we're
longer
just
there.
we're just roaming along. Okay.
And Nathan's going to, once we all gather again, saying, a day ago, we went through a small community in a place called Sanok. They're about a day back down the road. I suggest we go there.
might have access to better medical for your friend.
But we can't stay out here. It's too dangerous with that robot wandering about.
Well, let's get going. I suppose Joel can somehow push this wagon or pull it.
Kind of make a makeshift yoke.
Does anybody have harness making?
Well, I'm sure we
Yeah,
can work
no.
something out.
Sure, there's enough. Yeah, everyone here has at least potentially some kind of mechanics or.
If it's a harness, I would say you could use climbing.
Climbing, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're I don't need a roll. You're able to rig something up that will allow Joel to kind of pull this thing along.
Stick Marshall on the cart.
And Rebecca.
And Gordon.
And Gordon.
Right.
Gordon
Had to carry his dead weight around too.
Yep. And some other gear that you happen to find amongst it, just in random, that says reserved for, which is really weird because you've never picked up, something and it just felt wrong. Like, you know what? This
I keep
definitely should
trying
be
to
for
put
Gordon.
this in my backpack and it won't go in.
All right. I will need a hiking check, a group hiking check. Just
Did you get the?
what's the normal?
I think. Crap! I can't remember.
Is it a hiking check for a day's hike, or how does that work? I can't remember. Cross country travel.
Gives you
So hiking
10% speed increase.
Gotcha.
Yeah, hiking's a health -5 default.
It'll be like that, Daniel.
Well, Fisher's like, he's still trying to like.
I just got out of a damn freezer.
Yeah, you're much more stiff than you expected to be.
I should
After
be
all
stronger and faster than this.
And you're like super jonesing for a cigarette.
Well, we got a bottle of
Joel's
whiskey,
struggling with
so
a
I've got that
harness.
at least.
It's not comfortable.
Let's see. What is?
Yeah, Joel is. The characters are still under grace period. Joel should really have hiking. If there's one thing
Probably.
that you're going to be doing a lot of around here, it's hiking.
Well, you don't necessarily need it. It just gives you a 10%
Yeah, you do.
bonus.
Everybody has to roll. At least if you're using the Dungeon Fantasy 16.
Sorry, I'm just rolling everyone's perception. Actually, everyone roll perception in the box for me, please. Oh, is the box available? I don't see the box.
Yeah.
I don't have a box.
Yeah.
You don't have a box.
I don't have a box.
That's
You
usually
have a
got
box.
secret rolls on all
Well,
the time.
I can automatically do secret rolls, so I don't need a box.
Oh, right, yeah. You only have the box if
How are you guys? Yeah.
if you have rolls out in the open.
Gotcha. How are you guys arranged? How are you guys arranging yourselves during travel?
Why
Who
do you
takes
need
point?
to know?
I need to know who gets to see things first
Nathan
or
takes point.
last.
Joel isn't because he's swearing too much.
Yep,
Looking at
Joel's
his
in the back there like, I can't believe they're turning me into a pack animal.
I will probably be pulling up the rear since I have the RPK 47.
Okay.
But I will be regaling everyone with a tale of how I used to be in the circus in Warsaw. Rebecca loves that story.
And that she does.
And I'm trying to
Were
figure
there
out how
clowns?
does that fit? How does that fit with what they told me earlier? It's getting more and more confusing.
She asks if there were clowns.
Oh, there were so many clowns. There were so many. I tried my stint as a clown for a while, but I failed miserably. I was better as a lion tamer.
What's a lion look like?
Oh, it was a terrible creature with wings and it breathed fire.
She shivers.
It's like
and,
one of those. It's like
starts looking
wait,
up
what?
at the sky and like, I hope there's no lions where we're going.
No, I killed them all.
She looks at you skeptically and just says, "Oh."
Now
Standard,
she's disappointed because she wanted to see one.
standard
Nathan.
military issue ammunition is armor piercing, is it not?
No.
No. Nathan, as you're kind of taking point, you're probably some yards ahead. You kind of, as you come around a bend and you look down the road, the path, you catch a glint of metal off of something, and I think do you have binoculars?
He does not.
So you catch a glint of something, but your perception is so stinking high.
He also
And
has night vision 9.
this is during the day as you're hiking.
9.
So he's a mutant too.
Clearly.
You're surrounded by...
No, don't need to be. The
Yes, you do. Natural humans can't have more than 3.
you can according to the infiltrator template.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous.
That is weird. I'll allow it because, well, I mean, there's enough weirdness.
He's a
here.
mutant.
He is a mutant.
That's enough.
You, after watching, you can tell it's a small party of what look like raiders up ahead. coming down the road. They have not spotted you, and they are still some distance off.
How many?
But they seem to be. You count 6 of them.
And experience has told us that raiders generally can't be negotiated with.
They might be able to, but most of the time they're just bad attitudes with, and they like your stuff. Especially, they tend to not bother parties larger than themselves unless they believe that they have some advantage in strength, be it weapons or otherwise. And they're just bad news in general. You might be able to talk your way out of it if with the right or negotiate.
What the hell was that?
That was a bird.
Did you step on it?
Really?
No, I know. It sounded like a squeak.
No, it flew in and landed on my shoulder.
Gotcha.
Freaking Australians, man.
So Nathan will go back and say, we have a group of raiders up ahead. They're coming this way.
Raiders.
What, did we die and go to Mad Max?
It does
What's
seem
Mad
that
Max?
way.
Good God.
Well, you'd think so, but
Look,
it didn't turn out
They're
that
just
way. But
nasty people.
someday I'll tell you about when I starred with Mel Gibson in a movie.
We should get off the road, take some cover. Just as a precaution. We might want to take up a few positions to perhaps ambush them if we need to.
I don't want one position. I want all positions.
But all positions.
Yeah, look over the terrain and try to figure out best places for everybody.
All right. You're able to find a slight defensible kind of defilade position that gets you off the road. You're able to kind of get the cart up and out of sight.
Make sure Rebecca knows she needs to stay low.
And Nathan
She
will
looks at you
also...
like, this isn't my first rodeo, Mr. Shepherd.
Nathan will point out to the newcomers. He'll sort of grab one of their spare magazines and he'll hold it up and say, these are really hard to come by. So be careful how you use them.
I'm getting
go ahead.
well off the road and getting well hidden.
I'm looking at the 75 round drum magazine I have for the RBK and go, okay.
All right, so I will need
Camouflage, I think.
Camouflage. Yep.
Is that from everybody?
I can make
just
it as
me.
a group roll, if you want, and then
You're a -1 for everyone that doesn't have the skill.
correct.
Yeah, I do have it. I was just wondering.
So who does not have camouflage?
Nathan does not have the skill.
Okay.
Nor
Nathan
does Joel.
Joel does not.
Oh, that
But
was
it-
okay.
But
That
it
was-
defaults to
sorry.
survival -2.
Right, but we're just doing it as a group roll, so one person will roll it with bonuses and penalties based on the group as a whole, to save everyone from having to roll once. So with a success by 8, he can basically cover 8 people without the roll, as it were.
Yeah, I also have it as well. I only got it at 12, but
So
But
we
it is a
got
contest of
Yep.
perception as well.
So basically, we've got a couple of unconscious.
Yep, I'm not
we've
counting
got
them.
a
They're
couple of-
easy to just kind of,
So
move in.
we can just get them out of sight entirely.
Yep. It'd just be those who want to that would end up participating in a fight. So Salvador, does he have it or not? He does not have it. So you'd be at a 8 minus 3. So success by 5.
Okay.
All right. So that is interesting. Hold on.
Now, for the record, I do have a scope on this rifle.
Gotcha.
It's
All
not
right.
great though.
They begin as you guys are all hunkered down and in your positions. The party begins to pass. They don't seem to be trying to hide themselves. They're carrying on and talking about it's like whatever. You catch snippets of them. It's like it's like that town that back there was easy pickings. And they said that the caravan went up north. We could find that caravan. Maybe next time they stop, we can see what we can snatch from them too. And they actually start to begin to pass your position. However, just as they begin to pass your position, one guy turns and like he heard something or just like he's looking back, and he looks. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He turns and it just looks Joel right in the eye, and he goes, "What the heck?" And they're over here. And he turns and sees looks Joel right in the eye and says, "What the?" And he has that, "Oh my goodness," look on his face. And because it's a success by 0 and you guys had tactics, I'm going to give you surprise. But I don't know if I want to start a fight this late.
That's probably a bad idea, yeah.
So,
it may not come to the fight. As soon as it's clear that we're being made, Nathan will step out and he'll say, stay hidden.
And is Joel picking up that this guy's...
Oh yeah, it's like your eyes just like meet, you're trying, to keep low, and it's just like he was probably the rear. He's the rear guard. He was kind of just doing the, casually, joking with his fellows, and kind of that. Oh yeah, I guess I should be looking around. And he started looking around, and just for whatever reason, you know how it is. It's just like his eye line met your eye line, and it's just magic. Oh, it's magic.
Okay, hold on.
Don't encourage me.
Here's one thing we have to do before we determine whether Nathan's able to jump out.
Okay.
Okay, so I didn't just open up.
If Nathan gets up, I'm going to get up since this guy's made me.
Okay.
Hoping my size might intimidate him.
All right.
One of them looks like
Nathan will
one
step
of them looks
out.
like Negan. I'm just going to plug him now.
Nathan will step out and say, "It's best you guys keep on moving. We have a bunch of people with guns trained on you right now. This is not a fight that you want to have. Keep pushing on." And we'll fast talk.
All right. Oof, nice.
And
Let's see.
We'll probably luck it.
Give me an intimidate roll from Joel, because I'm assuming you're probably trying to look as menacing as possible.
Yeah, that's correct.
So I'll take the succeed by 4.
No, you should have
And-
taken the failure by 3 or by 2.
All right, Joel, I'll need a intimidate check from you, please.
Doing the assist then. Good God, man.
He spent all of his points on the sonic attack.
He just relies on his natural intimidation ability.
Well, you look big and menacing, but
Actually,
as you
does
kind
he have an appearance mod?
yes, he should. He has freakishness, which is what is your level of freakishness?
I have not heard of this.
I've got freakishness of minus 70. Minus
12?
11?
Minus 11.
Minus 12?
The
What does
mighty
that
roar
mean?
to some. It's basically how easily recognizable as a mutant he is, and
Okay.
it's a penalty. It can be a penalty to reaction rolls when dealing with folk. But in this case, I will grant it as a bonus. I think that so. But let's see.
Well, I think monstrous
They have a make a
appearance
will.
only gets you like 3.
Yeah, it's. I know it's not a 12.
Like my reaction modifier is just a simple -1.
Is it?
Yeah, it's -1, includes -1 from freakishness. Conditional +2
Okay.
from voice when my voice can be heard. -2 from on edge when people see me blow up, or maybe +2 if they think that's impressive.
Well, it is a contest, so they may still be
True.
freaked out.
Question is, do they believe that it's a bunch of guys with guns trained on them?
They're about
Or
to
is it
when
just
I-
2 funny-looking dudes?
They're about to when I open up on them.
Let's see. That's a will save, right?
It's a
And
contest versus
you are. And you are. What's your intelligence? Isn't Nathan smarter than they are? I think.
No, that's acting.
That's not a thing.
Oh, that's an acting thing. Oh.
Come on, man. You're supposed to know the rules. What kind of GM are you?
All right. They have a margin success of 1 versus your margin success of, I'll say, 5 in total. They kind of thumbs their weapons. They kind of heft an axe or so, and they kind of look around in the woods. And
If any of them have danger sense, it's pinging.
yeah, they're,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so just move along. This is not a fight that you want.
Oh,
Yeah, I would say move along.
I might be able to assist with that, Mark. He's like, move along, and there's that pause of silence, and then I rack the round in, very loudly,
like,
Ding, 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 ding.
it's like,
no, it's not.
what, the one that seems like a leader is kind of it does the looks around and licks his lips, and he kind of doesn't raise his weapons, but he kind of like fingers it, but he's like, yeah, guys, let's go. These 2 guys ain't got nothing we want. I mean, look at them. They're just 2 freaks out in the middle of nowhere all by themselves. Well, they ain't worth our time.
I hope that doesn't trigger Joel or Nathan.
Why do these
Let me see.
why do these quasi-Poles sound like Southern Americans?
Eh,
No, Nathan doesn't
They're
have
Southern
anything that'll
Poles.
get triggered.
they're South Poles. Okay.
Yeah, it just says I take grossly unreasonable risks in the face of mortal danger. So if I face a life-threatening situation, I've gotta make a self-control.
Oh dear.
Well, he is
It hasn't
standing
devolved.
up now.
It hasn't devolved
It
into
might.
combat yet. But there's like, so they kind of start backing off, and they're like going like, as they kind of go, it's like, besides, they ain't gonna find much down that way. And then they kind of keep they keep going, keeping an eye. Yeah, every so
Are they
often.
carrying stuff?
They have weapons. They look like one or two might have an old rifle, but most of them look like one had a crossbow, another one had.
Yeah, they don't look like they raided anything particularly successfully at this point.
Well, they look. You guys are all. Yeah, most of you guys soldiers. They look more like a forward scouting party of some kind, like than than a full group. And from what you've heard when they were coming by, it sounded like past tense, like, and the we that they seem to be talking about seemed like a larger group we than just the we of themselves.
That's a lot of assumption on our part.
It is a lot.
I look at Nathan and I say, I'm glad that went that way.
But between Nathan and Joel, raiders tend to be larger groups than just 6.
I'm glad that went our way there, Nathan. I didn't really feel like picking raider out of my teeth.
Yeah, but I don't think we've seen the last of them. That was only a small group of them. There's probably more. So if we head to Sanok, we're probably going to run into them.
New plan?
I'm going to roll area knowledge. I'm not going to know. Unfortunately, I don't know of any settlements nearby that we can get to. There's a few places around, but I don't know if there's anyone there or we can get any help for Marshall.
I can't think of anywhere.
But he's going to need a doctor. So we're still in the hex that has the truck in it?
Further along. You're about halfway now.
What if you go on ahead and scout? I mean, just see what is up ahead.
I'm almost certain the rest of the group's going to be there. And if they just come from Sanok, we're probably not going to find any help there anyway.
Oh, what about Krosno?
We're probably a couple of days' walk from anywhere.
The Krosno, I can give you an idea.
Where have they come from? So they came out of Sanok before at the start of this thing, but
Well,
if they're itinerant, they didn't come from there. So generally speaking, what you said you said they came out of Ukraine.
The original caravan came north out of the Ukraine, passed through Sanok, did a fair good bit of trading with Sanok, traded in some fuel, gained some more fuel and whatnot, and traded. Obviously, gained a bunch more food. Sanok was, from what Nathan and Joel recall, was a small, like little a makeshift fortress town. Kind of they
Mhm.
barred off most of the streets, built it up. They had a little bit of farmland or some garden area. It wasn't a very big place. It seemed it was defensible, but they seemed to be mostly friendly with traders once they knew you had stuff that they wanted and vice versa. But they didn't seem like a hostile place. They seemed more helpful in general.
Well, basically, my question is their most recent experience is to the east.
Correct. South and east. More south and east, not necessarily east. They were coming up and along that path. They were given, to believe that, or they didn't want to go up through the mountains, as the people of Sanok mentioned that there's definitely some raider bands and whatnot that kind of come in from the west of Sanok that they tend to deal with. That east was safer, though they might find some trading further east of Primisil, or if they kind of got to Primisil, skirted around it, and went north and around towards Resno and the like. But there was also like towns and whatnot east of Primisil that might have some good trading. But the caravan leader decided to go east instead of west because you just didn't want to have to deal with raiders. So you can probably guess that the raiders came in from the west and hit Sanok sometime after the caravan came through. But you don't know the current status of Sanok either.
So the caravan came in through Presumption and ended up at Sanok and then was headed back that way?
No. It more likely came in from off the map.
Okay.
From that way.
Right.
Well, I can't remember, but I know we had to cross that bridge to Sanok.
Right.
I don't know about how we're going to get to Krosno without skirting Sanok. What about Kiriv?
Well, Krosno is in the mountains, which is the direction the raiders were said to have been coming from. So,
and I'm almost certain that we overheard the raiders talking about Sanok. So we're not going to find any help back there, and we're just going to find more raiders. So,
well, yeah, I mean that it still may be the best, the only thing you know.
I think maybe we can do an overland trek for a couple of days.
Well, the problem with that is the injured dude, was it Marshall, isn't going to last that long. Because if he needs actual surgery.
Yeah, we're going to have to find a settlement of some kind just to ask where the best medical care is going to be. It looks like if it's...
Salvador mentions like, well, why don't you do what Joel mentioned? Scout out and see what's going on, Sanok. Maybe, it isn't as bad as we think.
Yeah, if we can get eyes on, that's probably the way to go.
Well, it's a lot closer than basically anywhere else around here, so it's probably a good place to start.
I mean, the worst that could happen, right, is like we lose half a day. And if the raiders are all over Sanok, we can always, like you say, go cross country to that. What's that place? Kirby, whatever.
Yeah, that's not the worst that can happen.
All right. Well, we'll have a look, but I don't have any high hopes.
Right. So I think Fisher is also a trackery type, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll probably recommend the two of them buddying up if they're going to break from the group to
Well,
the
yeah.
Overland Scout. Since they'll move, they'll probably move faster than we will with just the doohickey.
Either way, let's make it look like we went northwest to the river.
Easily done. So we're
All
totally
right.
going to split the party.
Gotcha. Splitting the party. So Fisher and Nathan.
Nathan and Fisher are going to get attacked by robots, and we'll never see them again.
All right. Sounds like a plan. Excuse me. All right. So I need so Nathan
Okay,
and
we
Fisher.
are after time, by the way.
Okay.
Even though you were freaking super late.
I know. This shouldn't take a few more minutes. Nathan and Fisher, you guys, you're sufficiently stealthy and whatnot. You use terrain. You get as you near Sanok, you do note that you look into and you can see the settlement of Sanok from a distance. Nathan or Fisher utilizing a scope. It does look like Sanok had been attacked. Some of the buildings look like they were, one or two buildings look they are burnt out. There are people there, but most of them seem to be affecting some kind of repairs and whatnot. There's a small looks like a small field that's neatly cleared and what look like bodies having been buried there. But Sanok looks to be still populated. You don't notice any immediate presence of any raiders. However, on a bridge that leads that's on the north side of town, out of sight of Sanok, you do note what looks like a small camp of individuals. It doesn't take you long from where you're at to scout them out too, and you find they are in fact a band of raiders of about 10 or 11 strong. They seem to be holding up on the other end of a small bridge, not the main bridge that you see that's on the Polish map, but another bridge that cuts across the area. It looks to be mostly jury rigged into kind of more of a footbridge than anything now, and they seem to be reveling in some kind of hey, we just successfully raided something. They got like extra gear and whatnot. They do look like they're waiting on something or someone, but they don't seem to be interested in Sanok, and they seem to be some distance away from Sanok to not attract Sanok's attention, nor Sanok to be attracted by their attention.
Yeah, what
we
actually
avoid them?
is the distance?
They seem to be pre-staged to head east and north back to, in the direction you guys have just come, if they get the right word. Like they're settled up here waiting for somebody to tell them that, hey, yep, the caravan up the road is in a position we can go after or not. And then if not, possibly head back west.
So these guys are loaded up with gear.
Right.
And how far away from town are they?
So
roughly.
If Sanok is where Sanok is, they are just in the next north hex.
Yeah. What is the scale?
Each hex is 10 kilometers. So they're about
10 kilometers. Okay.
So they're about They're about 10 kilometers away north of Sanok themselves.
Yeah, so they're
there's-
probably not within direct sight of the town.
No.
Terrain depending.
All right, so we should be able to go around and get to Sanok.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to cross the bridge, but that's not that much closer, really.
There is a secondary.
Well, I guess we
bridge.
don't have to cross the bridge.
You can cross that large bridge into Sanok. That's like the highway bridge. That didn't look like there was anyone guarding it or otherwise. I need a different marker here. Let me see if I can put a pen. So kind of where that blue dot is where the camp raider camp is, and there is a like makeshift footbridge that crosses over and connects to the main road a little bit,
Okay.
further up.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's probably not a small river either. Okay, so I'll put together this salute report and go give that to Shepard.
All right. Shepard there.
Sorry.
Oh, no
I
worries.
was looking at the San River. S-A-N.
Yes.
As far as I can tell.
Yeah, Sanok is
So
a lot bigger than
yeah.
I was thinking.
I did
It used to be
miss
bigger.
some of that. I did miss some of that because I was AFK. I came in where you had seen some raiders on a small bridge or something.
So the Raiders
Are
do
they
seem to be in
sieging?
the. No, the Raiders seems to have would look like a from what you can gather, it looks like they have attacked Sanok and then pulled back about 10 kilometers north of Sanok to a position where they can cross over the river and head north or east and then north further along the road down the path you just came, which seems to track because the guys that were the party of raiders that you had just passed had mentioned a caravan that had just recently come through this area, and that they were looking to see if they could locate that caravan. So the raiders that are camped out north of Sanok seem to be kind of pre-staged to mobilize and head either east or west, depending on what you assume the advance party identifies.
Are you sure about the scale on this map?
It's supposed to be 10K.
Probably.
I don't think it
Probably.
is. I think
That's-
5K might be more correct based on what I'm looking at.
Probably
See.
should have taken out that advance party.
The river is about 100 yards at Sanok. It is very wide.
42 kilometers straight line to whatever that is. Arif?
Hmm? Oh,
So if you draw a line from Sanok to Arif,
See, I'm bringing up Google Earth right now. See if
yeah, that's what I'm looking
It's
at.
about right.
And based on what I can see there, it looks like it might be 5K.
So it sounds like we can probably get into Sanok without
Yeah.
without
yeah, it looks
dealing with the
like.
raiders.
Yeah, it's just a matter of timing, because if they get an alert and they end up moving out, they're probably going to end up going through here. I guess they don't have to.
Well, if they have a group of 10, I mean, if that was like 10 or 11, we could probably take that much.
Yeah, if we had to, then we get the jump on them.
So yeah, I guess is that what we're thinking? We just swing around and try to avoid these guys and still go into Sanok.
10 kilometers is about right. On Google Maps, it's 46.5 kilometers.
Yeah, but
So,
no, unless this map is really wrong.
Well, the map isn't super accurate. Like the rivers are a little off.
well, the width of the river and stuff like that's not.
No, I'm not talking about that.
No, okay,
the
so
placement of the river.
okay, yeah,
however.
the placement of the river is a little weird. So straight line as a crow flies, Sanok to Kiravi in reality is about 48 kilometers.
Oh, okay. I see the problem. There's a kink in the river that looks like that kink in the river, but it's not. And so the kink in the river that's on the map is actually a lot farther away.
Yeah, the river and the terrain area are a bit jumbled. So call it, the inaccuracy of the maps that you have available to you. You have an idea that there's a river somewhere and Sanok is somewhere in that area, but yeah, the hex distances are pretty accurate, or pretty close. Like I just drew a line, Sanok to Kiravi, Deadhead, and it's about 48 kilometers, 45 to 48 kilometers.
All right. Well, so yeah.
All right. So you're going to kind of make your move
just
in and around the raiders and sneak your way past.
We will make cautious entry into Sanok.
You approach the walls. As you approach Sanok, you can smell what the old scent of burnt timber and other material. Do you approach openly, or do you approach to a point, hide the cart, and approach further? How do you guys approach?
Approach openly.
Okay.
Since we're not trying to be threatening.
We're trying to not be threatening.
All right. As you begin your approach, the guards do take note of your approach and kind of post up a bit, but they don't seem to be. They have their weapons ready, but are not pointed and aimed in your direction. And they allow you to get within at least their bows range to attack you, but the door, their entry into their walled off camp seems to have been damaged, but some repairs have been affected on it, and they call out to you. It's like, ho there, what brings you to Sanok? What is your purpose? If you mean violence or harm, know that we will return any violent action against us with greater violence. if you wish to trade or otherwise, state what it is you have to trade.
We have someone who is injured and needs a doctor. We have things that we can trade.
He says, "Wait a moment," and he calls out. You hear him call out, and a kid goes running off from the what I guess for a better term of the battlements, and then a short while later, a younger man kind of makes his way to the parapet or the battlements. He seems to have a bandage across his head and over one side of his face, and he seems to be leaning heavily on a staff and calls out, what exactly do you have to trade? We are a peaceful place, but please understand that we have just had our own set of tragedy.
We encountered raiders on the road. There are still some more camped north of here. We, in fact, travelled through here with a caravan some days ago. We,
They might actually remember Joel at least.
Yeah, they kind of look around, and sure enough, there's there's kind of they look like they're conferring. It's like, yes, it does seem like they're one of you is familiar. Is that the man who was? Is that your entertainer, your singer that we recall?
yes,
it's
the big one.
me.
The big one.
Thank you for remembering me. Open the doors. I'll come in and sing for you.
There seems to be some discussion, a bit of hand waving at each other, but they seem to come to some consensus. It's like, again, like, very well. We'll see what you have to trade, and we'll see what aid we can provide. Please note that again, our ability to provide aid is much more limited than when you had come through before, but we can get into that later. And they eventually open the gates for you, and the more serene and nice Sanok that you recall seems to have been turned upside down. Where some of the garden area seems to be stripped of much of the crops. Few of the buildings seem to be burnt and down. A small field is now littered with various crosses and the dead, and the original old leader that you recall does not seem to be there anymore. The young man with a head wound comes down and greets you. It's like, I'm sorry that you're seeing Sanok, you're visiting Sanok once again, but under such times. Unfortunately, as you just probably just saw, the raiders that you just passed came through here, but half a day after your caravan came through. They must have seen what we had traded for, and the wealth that was traded back and forth, and decided that they wanted a part of it. We fought hard against them, but they were able to breach the walls, and we were forced into fight with our backs against the wall in our own homes. Eventually, they took what they could carry and took off to the north. We don't have much, but what we do have, we're willing to help. Our medic can look at your injured, but he is not. He does not have a lot of good equipment, as much of the medical supplies were taken by the raiders. Come this way. Bring your injured, and we'll see if Pavlo can take care of them.
Joel, you want to bring Marshall?
Yep, I'll haul Marshall over.
And he shows you to a small a building that they've turned into a makeshift hospital. Many of the beds already have some injured laying on them, but they have room for 2 more. An older gentleman kind of hobbles over. He's got that, like those mirrors that old doctors used to have to help reflect light into to help them see. He has one of those kind of strapped to his head, and he looks over Gordon at first, prying his eyes open. Is like, well, this one
guy's retarded.
I'm not sure what's wrong with him. It looks like possibly some head trauma or he seems like he might be in some kind of coma. He holds his wrists, checks his vitals. His vitals seem to be strong, but he doesn't seem to be in any immediate danger. He puts his head to his chest and listens to him breathe. He seems to be breathing well. I don't see any immediate injuries. I'm not sure what I can do for him. And then he moves over to Marshall and looks him over and kind of sucks through his teeth and starts, poking and prodding him. And he's like, well, this is unfortunate. This man is definitely suffering from some internal bleeding outside of the various burns. I can dress most of his wounds and see what I can do, but many of my more advanced tools and supplies were taken. If what
Sounds like we've got a mission.
If what I'm seeing is correct, he kind of points to some of his wounds. Infection is already starting to get in. I can treat many of his the superficial injuries, and I may be able to, work at fixing some of his internal bleeding with what I have on hand. But I don't have any antibiotics or and the like. Much of that was taken.
The Raiders have it.
It's like, they took many of our medical supplies along with a lot of our food stuffs and whatever weapons that we didn't already have, or those that they could take from those that were of the fallen.
At least they didn't take any people.
So we managed to actually.
You say that, and he says that's not entirely true. Some of our people were taken. A couple of the women.
Well, I think we need to go have a chat with these fellows.
So the stuff that we salvaged, like the medical stuff, Nathan will go grab it and say, "Is this of any use to you?"
He looks through some of it. It's like, I can definitely put a lot of this to use for sure. These surgical tools. I'm not sure where you came by them, but they will definitely come to help. But the problem I'm going to run into is infection. As you can already see, some of his wounds are already starting to turn, are reddening, which is one of the very first signs. And his burns, without proper care, will become infected. I'll need burn creams, those kinds of stuff. I can do what I can. It's possible I can save him and starve off whatever that's occurring. But,
I say we go have a chat with these fellows, retrieve these people's gear and people.
I'm not sure our insurance is going to cover this.
So I'm choosing to fail that selfless.
Right.
And Nathan will say, "We'll go get the antibiotics back off these raiders."
That's what I said. And the
All
people,
right.
too.
Well, if you can do that without bringing them down on our head skin, we'll be extremely grateful to your assistance.
We have lots of food. We have some medical supplies. Keep him alive, and you can have some of that. We will go get the get what they took.
If you can bring back if you can bring back those supplies and our people, you can stay as long as you need to. And with that, we'll call it a night.
Yeah. Yay, the band's all here.
And next week, just before you guys start to set off, as you're kind of saying that, Gordon coughs, and it's like,
Damn, I'm retarded now.
My brain hurts.
It's because he's retarded now.
And we'll give it. We'll call it there.
Excellent.
All right. So,
2 points.
2 points for everyone that participated in the game. So everyone but poor old Gordon / our resident Andricus.
Who's now
It's his
retarded?
own fault.
I honestly did consider having Fisher and Shepard start with like a penalty to all their motor skills as they were, and I completely forgot to do that.
I've already got a penalty to all my motor skills. I should have been strength 13, dex 14. They're all down a point permanently.
I wonder if there's any rules in GURPS for atrophy, muscle atrophy.
Probably not.
Oh, I'm sure there's a way you can build it in, but
if that was going to be somewhere, it'd probably be in biotech.
But all right. So with that, for all those who are listening and decided to torture yourselves with listening to the melodious sound of my voice and the voice of the others, again, thank you for taking the time and enjoying this episode.
Also, what's wrong with you?
After the end of our After the End Rebirth. If you have any moans, groans, gripes, complaints, suggestions, or general hecklings, please
Keep them
feel
to
free
yourself.
to, or not, and feel free to heckle away and meet us on either our Discord channel or our YouTube channel. Look forward to hosting this episode 3 next week. And with that, Olympus out.
Nice
See ya.
Stream.
Good night, stream.